smoking for 2-3 months, bought the ring, and I started smoking again. So like he just like I remember these stories always like, oh, I love that. I think that's where it's in my brain from. Like it's like just fucking like I'll tell you, like I'm in charge. I'm the boss.
Yeah, you're like that with a lot of things. It's weird.
Yeah, your brain controls it. Like you have the power over it.
Well, but it's almost like he's having like an argument with his body and his brain. He's like, "Oh yeah, you think so? You think we're gonna keep doing this?"
Oh yeah, I definitely. The more my dad would go nah. Greeks do nah. They almost like they're cursing you or something. Like they put their hand towards you and they go nah, and they'll usually go malaka, which means like guy that jerks off. But
really, that's what that means.
Malaka means jerk off. It means saying you jerk off.
Oh really?
The guy that jerks
I've
off.
heard
What
that.
a terrible insult.
Yeah,
but Malaka is like used so much. The word for Greek people.
Yeah.
It means it's like. It's not even. It's almost not dirty.
Like the Mexicans use cabrón, kind of the same sort of thing. It's just like a.
I've never heard of that. I've heard them use pendejo.
Pendejo.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it in movies only though. But with the Mexican guys I work with, I never heard them say that. Yeah. They used to call me cuñado. Do you ever hear that one? Cuñado. It means brother-in-law.
Oh, that's nice.
Kinda.
Was it your brother-in-law?
No, but doesn't that mean he wants to bang my sister?
I guess, or he wants you to bang his.
Oh,
you ever think of that?
Maybe he wants me to bang.
Maybe it was an invitation.
I'd bring my own sister even at this point if I had one.
Was his sister there, or was your sister there?
You on a dry spell, Manolis?
What's that?
You on a dry spell right now?
Just like my standard. My standards are pretty low nowadays. Like it's like you know, if I had a sister and she's like, you know what, you want to fuck, and I'm like, if I was attracted to her, I'd be like, yeah, why not? Fucking.
She'd probably be dried up by now.
Well, in my brain, my sister's for some reason 20 years younger.
Oh, I always thought it was.
I don't know how, but this is my fantasy.
Yeah,
that's my fantasy.
Well, yeah, you gotta have something. So, like, you
gotta have dreams.
Yeah, you gotta have dreams. Yeah. Did you ever like when you say your standards got lowered? Is it because of not having access to women because of COVID? Or is it because you're getting?
I think what I mean by standards, my standards are lower in the sense of like I'm this like not. I don't want to. I know that if you have sex with a woman, it's not just sex, and even if they say they're cool, they're down to just fuck. It's like my stand. I just don't. The older I get, the less I want to deal with a relationship.
Oh, totally get it. Totally.
Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. I'm a married guy, and I get it. I don't even want to deal with my own marriage. Like, not that I have nothing against my wife. I'm just saying, like, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
Like, where before, if my wife wouldn't fuck me, I would take it super personal, and I would say, like, this is a goddamn deal breaker. And now I'm like, I could live without it.
Yeah.
Like, not that I would want to, but. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as big a deal. Like, I know what I got to put up with to get that. I kind of would just like to walk the world by myself in peace.
I would like to date. I would ideally like to date a girl like. I'd either like to be a sugar daddy if I was rich.
Yeah.
Or like just get high
call girls.
Escorts.
Yeah, escorts. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, escorts. Oh, you know.
Or just
from
date,
Mad Men.
Or date porn star.
Oh, yeah.
Like a high class, like not high class. I don't mean high class. They're all
they're all high class.
No, but like the famous ones. You know, like I'd love to date like one of those porn stars.
One of the dead ones, like August Ames.
Yeah. But because then I could be like, all right, she's hot. We're gonna have fun. She's gonna have sex with other dudes. And I'm not gonna. She can't stress me out about shit because I'm gonna be okay with her fucking other.
You said it this last time you were on the show too. You this is what your dream girl is a porn star, right? Not a dream girl, but perfect. It would be like a perfect
scenario. Yeah, because we can have fun, and I'm not saying eventually I might fall in love with her, and then we'll see what happens. Then that might be the hard.
What happens, guys?
Yeah, then I'll be like, maybe I'll get jealous, but I think I'm old enough and done enough where I think I could just be like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? You're going to rattle up with some dudes. Who cares?
Yeah, and let's just have fun. Yeah, so you get it too, being in the entertainment business, that like you can separate.
Yeah,
work.
I obviously get to fuck other dudes too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not. She doesn't get that much. It's all fine.
But no, I mean, she wouldn't.
She's
Obviously,
gonna
she
make
would.
a wonderful mother one day too.
Yeah, she's not gonna care. I like porn. I think porn stars are awesome, man.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know that about you. Yeah,
Manolis, you have good relationships with him.
I've never met one.
I don't know if he's ever. Have you ever met one? But you talk to them. You have a lot of friends. You're friends with a lot of them online, like Twitter. They engage with you.
Oh, it's
Manolis knows everybody though.
Yeah.
What's Elena Kushna?
Yeah, she's a little hottie. I remember you.
Yeah, she's. I would say I'm somewhat friends with her. Yeah, but
she did your podcast, didn't she?
Yeah, she's cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did a podcast.
She's cool.
Is she
didn't. She
Canadian?
didn't go to studio.
No, she lives in L.A. or something. She lives in the States. But you know what I mean? Like, I would date her in a heartbeat and not tell her not to be a porn star anymore. You know what I mean? I'd be like, just fucking. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, some of them like working.
I just don't want to be. I don't want stress, man.
I just think that's such a funny thing. Like, I got to go to work. I want to work today. How's work today?
Was it like Kirsch? Kirsch?
What are you talking about? Her name? Elena Kushna, I think. Where's my glasses?
Oh, they didn't like that one at all.
I think she's trying to be a porn star.
Oh, okay.
No, she's a porn star.
She's just fucking a lot of dudes trying to be in the industry.
I'm trying to find. You want me to see how to spell her name?
I just wanted to see what she looked like, but it's no big deal. I don't want to ruin the flow of the show or anything over it because it's been. Hey, you know what?
What?
Yeah. Look it up, and maybe while you're doing that, I can do the thing on this show that we'd use to start it, called the theme song. Oh, but I need a soundboard. How's this thing work? Oh, there we go. Let's do the theme song thing, and then you can look that up, and we'll see a porn girl. Welcome, everybody, to the Dutch Hall. We are back in the Fool's Shed, and we are here for not really the season premiere of Season 9. And I say not really because my ambitions for this season have been dampered by Doug Ford and all of his lockdown bullshit. So now we're just sitting here, a group of 3. I think this is an allowed gathering right now of a group of 3 people. Plus, we're doing God's work. Podcasting is God's work. Hey, we're an essential service, as it turns out. But so we're going to delay the real premiere and have the next best thing, which is a great consolation. 2 great comics have joined us all the way from Hamilton. We have one returning as for a second time on the show. He's the godfather of Hamilton comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, Manolis Zontanos, everyone. Come on.
Hello. Elena.
Oh. Wait, hold on. There we go. I wanted to give you... Okay.
Elena, and then Kush.
I like
Kush.
Hold on. Elena.
You guys bring on the porn star before your other guest.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable.
This is part...
Kushka.
K?
Kosh.
O-S-H.
Ka.
Kushka.
She's Russian. I don't know if she was born.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Images.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, I know her.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super pretty, right?
Yeah. So that's
She's nice. I've talked to her.
How did you meet her?
It's
online.
Just online. I started tweeting her, making her laugh.
Is that right? I didn't know I could use my humor for that, eh? That's something I've never been able to do because I've been so married with it, eh? But you've been able to use your comedy for pussy.
Well, I have other ways too. Like I have never had sex with her, but I would love to.
In real life, though, you've gotten girls with your charm.
Yeah, well, I've gotten laid way more from stand-up than I have before stand-up. Definitely, yeah. Stand-up's been good to me in that way.
Well, I can't wait to talk about it more with you, Manolis. But first, we'll introduce our next guest. He's also come from Hamilton, Ontario. He's been under the tutelage of Manolis for a number of years. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the Dutch Hall Virgin. Put your hands together for Chris Adoranti.
Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much, guys. It's very nice of you.
Yeah, great to have you in here, Chris.
Thanks, bud.
What I wanted to, well, we'll get through the introductions, but I have one thing I wanted to talk to you about with regard to your appearance on the show, This Is a Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fascinated by you and that. I couldn't stop staring at
Get
you.
out of here.
Yeah, and I have to tell you why. But first,
Okay.
we must introduce the rest of the cast.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only person that's come, Kevin Fingers Van Dungeon is unable to be here. Derek Beaver Van Houten is on hiatus. And so the only person is part of the team that has shown up is our good, faithful Robot Dave, everyone. Robot Dave.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
Okay, Dave, this is going to be tough because I got to do this robot thing with one hand. Okay, so, Dave, basically, I don't know if you guys, I got a bit to do with this guy. But first, I forgot, I have to introduce myself. Hey, when I say two-time, can you guys say two-time? Because that's what usually the people that are on my show do.
Say no more, baby.
So I say two-time, and then you just have to say two-time.
I got you.
Okay. I am the host of this show, and two-time.
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 President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. And, fuck, I suck at this board.
There you go.
There you go. I don't even need any applause. All right. So, Robot Dave, like this guy here.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's him here. He's, you know, I this is my office. It's also, I work here all day long. So this dead-eyed motherfucker will stare at me the whole day long, and he gets to be kind of a pain in my ass, you know. And I don't know how I'm going to work this. Anyways, this guy, I forget he's a robot, right? He's a robot. But he also has the sex drive of a human man, right? And so he gets to be quite insistent talking to me about, like, the shit he's into and stuff.
Right.
So, and I had to park the vacuum cleaner beside him there just so that he could settle down. He found her attractive, and now they've been dating for a while, him and the vacuum cleaner. Let me see here.
Great dynamite gal.
So,
We're happy for you, Dave.
what, is the mouse still moving? Anyways, yeah, she's a great gal, Dave. You like that vacuum cleaner?
Sucks balls.
Oh,
He's got
that's
his,
probably
mouth,
why
he's
you
got
like
his
it.
mouth open like he's trying to return the favor to the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Anyways, you know this fucker here, his girlfriend might not be too happy that she's that to find out what else this guy's into. Like, he keeps bugging me. He wants to go. First of all, he wants me to put on It's a Small World After All, like the ride videos on there.
All right.
That's his favorite thing to watch altogether. Oh,
That's fantastic.
yeah, he loves it. He loves that. And then he likes me to he gets himself all worked up, you know, and then he wants me to take him to a barber shop, and he really wants to go to a barber shop, you know. He's got this whole thing. You want me to tell him what it's all about? You want me to tell your vacuum cleaner girlfriend?
Come on, tell us.
Please.
Wait, this is going worse than I expected.
No.
Okay. By no, do you mean yes?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. All right, let me see.
Want me to, like, get into it?
Yeah, I do. Why don't you get into it? Tell me about your little sick fantasy you have, okay?
Honestly, what I do is I sit down in the barber chair, put some lubricant in there, pay the guy $26.
Hey, that's what you do, eh? Yeah, that's great.
Sick man, Dave.
Yeah, he's a sick fucker.
It's like a school bus boner. Drain your nutsack, man.
All right, that's it for Robot Dave. Now, Robot Dave has said that. All right, he says that he's sick of me telling him he doesn't work on the show enough, and for this particular show, he did write a series of jokes to show that he has contributed
He's working.
for the show. So I hope They're good, Dave, and thank you very much for helping out there.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
Okay. So, we got these two comics in. He's never seen that at Robot, eh? He's refused to come in. He knows something's up, but he won't. His kids have all seen it.
Right.
The real Dave. His kids all know it exists. And
Is
all
this not the real Dave? Is there another Dave?
There's a real person that's based off of.
Right.
He's my best friend, Dave.
This is not a person?
No, he's a robot. That's why he fucks vacuum cleaners.
Of course. Yes.
Wait, your friend Dave or this Dave?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question. It might be both of
You
them
don't know
on that
anyone
one.
else who fucks vacuum cleaners? You don't know any flesh and bones that fuck vacuum cleaners?
No, I've known some guys that fuck vacuum cleaners. I think we all have known that. I think we've all kind of like helped their mom with housework and fiddled around with the head
like,
of that
Chris,
thing when we were about 14.
The bathroom doesn't need vacuuming. Certainly not for 15 minutes. We're just in there.
Well, my lap is very vacuumed, Mom,
Look at these pants. They're spotless. Anyways.
except for all the jizz on them.
Yeah, the irony.
Yeah, I was before we during the introductions there, we were talking to Manolis about all the women that you got from stand up.
Yeah, they pay me.
Yeah.
Like when they don't have money for the show, they give me women.
Yeah, but there is something about Manolis's moves. They're effortless, eh? Like he does them without. Like, do you find, or do you see it? Because you know him better than me.
I don't know if I do. I'm learning something new every day.
But you're very comfortable with women where I am not. You know, that's what I would admire about you. You don't seem to struggle like
Manolis is not, if I can interject, he's not like one of those guys who will like pounce on a chick or like, he's kind of like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. And then those ones, I think, like him. I think that's what I find anyways. Well, and he's genuinely like a good person, a nice guy. He's not an asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes girls like assholes, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely better when I'm outside of Hamilton too, where they know that here's the rub. Here's where the genius lies. It's simple. If you're on the road and they know that you're just passing through, they know they don't have time to dance. So if they want to get laid too, they gotta just do it.
Right.
But if you're in Hamilton and they live in Hamilton and they live in Hamilton, it changes things.
Right.
You know, they're like but if like you're in Calgary, she knows like I have 2 days. I'm gonna fuck this guy. If they want to fuck you, they're gonna fuck you. And here's the thing though, but yeah, obviously you go for it, but you just have fun. Just have a fun night, have fun, get to know them. Like be into it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, just don't be like
Make him feel special.
well,
No.
yeah, in a way, I guess. Yeah. Make them feel special because they are.
Yeah, wouldn't it be special though? It would be for me. Like anytime a girl would lay down naked and let me put myself inside of her orifices, you know, that would be a special day in my life.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any orifice.
Yeah, I'd take them all, whichever. No, I'm not picky. I think it's fantastic. They're just I would be so appreciative. You just keep thanking them.
Oh fuck, man. One time I told a girl I loved, like in the middle of sex, I just because I thought it would be funny. I'm like, I love you. Like just said it right to her, like, and I.
Oh, wow.
But you meant it at the time too,
I meant
right?
it at the time, but like, and she was like, it was cool, but it was like, there's that little line of like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying to me right
Crazy
now?
man.
Oh, it's not for real. It's just my cock.
Yeah,
It's just temporary.
Was
cock.
that like
There's-
a one night stand or girl you just met?
that was a one night stand girl I just met. I've had I've had a handful of one night stands, but like they're what's awesome about them, they were like fucking top notch, like really hot chicks. Like I was so stoked that it was like like I had some one night stands where like I can't believe I'm fucking this chick, you know?
Yeah, that's
I've said that too, but it's like the other way. Like not in a good way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like I can't believe.
this chick.
Oh, in the bad way. I thought you meant you can't believe she was fucking you.
Well, that too. I'm sure. I'm sure we both could have done better.
Literally, I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot. There's literally nothing better on this planet. Like the women drive me crazy in a way. There's nothing better than women.
No.
There's nothing better.
Well, nothing like drives a man to murder and like lie, cheat, and steal and do all kinds of other shit. Like nothing else does that besides pussy.
Yeah, but
like money you cheat for and this and that, but nothing like pussy. Nothing. There's nothing in this world that makes you do crazy
If women
shit
did
and
exist,
abandon your morals and your values like fucking pussy.
I'd probably stop doing stand up. I would probably stop going to the gym. I'd probably just turn into a round ball of fat.
without the motivation of women.
If there were no women, if women didn't exist, I would totally give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like women are like the best thing in the world, man.
Well, you know,
this is me trying because there's women.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know why I look like a douchebag and why I
Tell us, Pete. You douche.
I don't want to. I want to look like a fucking rock star. I don't want to look like a normal vanilla white bread dude. But my wife likes me like that, and she's the one that bangs me.
Right.
So I'm going to do whatever she says. Like, I really don't care. You call me pussy whipped or whatever.
Yeah.
I got one source, and I have to do what she says, or I got nothing.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't
nothing
bite
wrong
the
with
only
that.
hand. You can't bite the only hand that's gonna feed you.
That's right.
But she likes you.
She likes me, and like I don't care. When I go to get my hair cut, I just tell the lady to ask her what to do, and then I'll do it. I don't care.
Draper.
We've been watching Mad Men.
Yeah.
I introduced him to Mad Men. Me and Crystal, I don't know if you know this, we actually were roommates.
Really?
Yeah, we live together.
We live together.
No, I didn't know that.
I live
So
with my sister.
he I said, you gotta watch Mad Men. He has like, it's like everybody has that show. It's like, you haven't watched that? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he started watching it, and I'm gonna let him take it from here. But I love this show so much more now just because of Chris.
Because you have your perspective on it.
I guess I don't. It's a weird. I think Manolis. The show makes me mad. Like it's literally. I think that's why they call it Mad Men. Like I just get angry watching it because like there's the one dude in there, the Don Draper, and he's like the main guy, and everyone loves him, and he's like cool and shit. But he's got like this rocket wife who's like a 12 out of 10, and she just like dotes on him hand and foot. Anything he wants, anything, whatever, right? And he just he's out there banging other broads every night, lying to her, cheating on her.
Yeah.
He's just the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah.
And everything works out for him. He just gets hotter broads. And even when his wife finds out, like, she doesn't care. It's just like, hey, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, it drives me nuts.
He's literally yelling at the TV. He's losing.
Yeah,
He's
well,
like,
you know what? She doesn't deserve that. Betsy Draper doesn't deserve that.
You know
She
who
deserves
el-
better.
You know who else didn't deserve that?
Yeah.
Every single woman who was a woman in the 70s. Like,
Yeah, but do you know Betsy Draper?
is that the girl from Community?
No, that's Trudy. She plays Trudy in the show, the girl from Community. She's great. But no, her name's January Jones. Hey, January.
Oh, January Jones. Yeah,
yeah.
I know who that is.
Oh, do you? Okay, so she plays Don Draper's wife.
Yeah, she's a rocket.
Yeah, but I think I'm only in third season. I think she's starting to get it together. I think she's starting to be like,
Yeah,
she's going her own little escapades. But
he's fucking losing it, dude.
It's
but
not a fun show.
Do you remember the real life stuff like that though? Like, were you ever in the workplace to see that? With
I
your
remember
own two eyes?
smoking in buildings and like,
Oh, we mean smoking? What are you
like,
talking about?
Well, I don't know. Like,
or just like the roles, like the gender roles for like women versus men and like how that kind of stuff.
yeah, like when I started working at the banks, like there was a whole bunch of those guys, and they would
Philanderers?
fuck their secretary.
Oh yeah, there's so much of that.
Like a guy, like senior manager guys who would just go around and just have a different secretary in each port that he would bang when he was doing his tours or whatever. And you'd see it. I was totally grossed out by it. I was like you, like, because my generation, like that generation, they were the first ones that women entered the workforce, and they were like, what is this? This is crazy. We're all going to just want to fuck all day long, right? And they're like, that's crazy. We're here to work. You know?
I definitely.
No, but they get fucked.
And
all day long.
they went in there with that mentality, and these women are like, I want to work, but these guys are like, no, we're going to try to fuck you all day long. We're going to try to fuck you all day long. And then, like, eventually, like, those were our moms they were trying to fuck, you know?
Right.
My generation was,
good
that
point.
was our mom. So when I entered the workforce, I was like, stop trying to fuck my mom, you know?
Right.
Like, it didn't seem right to me.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I definitely didn't. I wasn't definitely part of that
Oh, yeah.
time, but I can see how that. It's weird because I don't even feel comfortable. I feel like it has to have to be natural. Like when I don't have Tinder. I have nothing. I don't have no dating apps. I just
Oh, yeah, you don't.
no.
Yeah, he vicariously through me. He always asks me, or like he knows if I'm talking to someone on like Tinder, Bumble. But I never even thought of that. Yeah, you don't even have one of those.
No, I used to, and I was just spending too much time. And then I'm not a man that likes. I'm not a person that likes texting at all. I don't like. I'm not good at. I'm not a fast texter. I don't like. I'm not a good speller. I'd rather just have a conversation with a person. You know?
Yeah.
So like, fuck. This is like. So even if I do match a girl, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I gotta fucking talk to this chick.
Yeah.
But not because like I gotta talk to a broad. I don't mean like that. Now I gotta start using my
notes.
thumb and fucking. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you like? What do you? I'm like I'm not dying for pussy that much.
Yeah.
Like I am, but I'm not. I just rather get things on my own terms. Like, you know, like fuck it. Like I'll just, if I meet a girl and we click and we have a conversation, you know.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, some of us are dying for pussy.
I think.
Well, some of us are dying for pussy. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you're also fat. You can read and write and type and spell.
I do hate that though, like what you said, like all the texting and bullshit, like the formalities that go on from the get go.
I've had a personal sister.
I'd way rather meet someone in person where it's like spontaneous and like there's something actually that you like. You know what I mean? Where you have like a mutual attraction or like there's some kind of connection or something where you notice each other or talk to each other or something, right?
Yeah.
Whereas over the internet, it's like fucking.
We were watching.
It's like you're literally shopping and you're just like, I don't like this. No. It reduces people down to such a weird thing.
What is the hottest thing in the world? We were talking about this the other day. We're watching. Sorry, you're gonna say something.
No.
Sorry. You know what was that movie? 100 Ways to Die or something?
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh,
yeah. But remember, what's that beautiful actress's name that
Charlize Theron.
She's like the love interest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's this couple times where he says something really. The guy, what's his name?
Seth
MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah.
He makes they're funny jokes, but she like you. They almost look like she wasn't even acting, like she was belly laughing, and like something. So that's what a fucking turn. If you meet a chick and you're clicking, but you're making her laugh. And she's into it. That's the fucking best.
Well, especially I think as comics too. It's like if you make a girl laugh when you're alone, it's not because you're on stage and you're like the person on there. You know what I mean? If you're making them laugh, like you're right. It's like the best.
It's the best thing in the world.
The quality I find hottest in a woman is the fact that they like me.
Yeah, 100%.
It really is. Like that's like. All of a sudden, ugly girl gets hot if I find out she thinks I'm good looking.
It's so
or something.
true, man.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you.
Well, you see it all the time with like, well, not all the time, I guess, but like you see it with like, it doesn't take much for a girl to get a guy, because they're like, oh, you like me? Okay, let's try this. There's the other way around. You're a guy chasing a girl. It's like, what are your qualifications, or you know what I mean? You have to.
I forget what that's like, man. I wish I could chase a girl.
Oh no, you don't.
Well, no, that's that. I don't want to get her.
No, I know what you mean. The chase, the game.
Yeah, I don't ever want to get her. I
Just do some of that. Go meet your wife at a bar one time or something.
I know what she looks like.
Throw on a mask.
You just go try to pick someone else up.
I like my wife.
No, of course you do.
But
you like your wife. That's very good.
No, but
I'm
I mean
sure
like
she'd be thrilled to hear you say that.
No, but I mean like she's like we've been together for 31, 32 years.
Really?
Holy.
Yeah.
Holy shit! When did you guys meet in like grade 2? Like, what do you mean?
We were 16, and I'm 48.
First date was in the sandbox.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Did
So
you bang her when she was 16?
17.
17?
I shouldn't say that on.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Do you still think about that day?
Does your dad listen to this?
My dad or her dad? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Sometimes, but not this
Hello,
far.
sir.
He would have already bailed by this.
He would already.
There's a 0% chance, I think. Maybe her brother, but anyways, I shouldn't have said that on the air. But yeah, we were young, and I always say like I've banged women like every age from 17 to 48, but they've all been the same girl.
Right.
But I'll tell you, they've all been great. Like, I haven't had an age yet that I've found where it's been up. And, like, I've been 32 years, and, like, when I am in the thralls of passion, I'm, like, super happy to be there. It's, like, a great time. Like, it's, I'm enjoying every aspect of it. Like, she's still, like, super hot to me.
Right.
Well,
That's important, obviously.
She's hot to me. I've seen your wife. She's a hot chick.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen her yet.
Yeah, she's hot, dude. Like, I mean, like, she's, what's her secret? Just like she's blessed with like good genes, or
a wonderful husband.
Does she like eat well and exercise and all that? Like,
yeah,
she looks really young too.
Yeah, she works a lot, like works a lot, and then she works out and she eats good.
Yeah.
She's big on what we eat.
You lucked out, dude. She obviously cares what she looks like.
Yeah, and she was lucky to be born pretty too.
I think she was lucky to be born. Oh.
Pretty. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hungarians also have a thing that they do where they go nah. Like,
oh yeah,
really.
But it's like it's an old Hungarian joke. Is that they go what's Hungarian foreplay, and it's nah, and they're like elbowing, and that's just because it's like a nudge get people to get moving kind of word, but or like just like they've had enough of talking to you, like just move on, nah,
enough. All right, we're done. Like we're done here.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's good.
Let's just fuck. That's the joke. You're Italian, right?
I am.
Yeah. This is an all Italian and Greek joke.
Okay.
All right. This is a street joke, right?
I love it already.
Okay. So there's an Italian and a Greek that are sitting around, and they're arguing over who's better, the Italians or the Greeks, right? And the Greeks going, it's easy. The Greeks are the best, you know. We invented everything. You know, we invented politics and science, and we invented mathematics. We even invented sex. And the Italian says, yeah, but we invented it with a woman.
I love that joke.
That's an old one.
That's a street joke?
I mean, you think that's an old street joke?
Yeah.
I've never heard it, though.
Do you have a living room joke?
Oh, a living room joke?
Do you have a kitchen joke?
I don't know.
I love that it's called street joke.
On the street.
Do you have a boulevard joke?
Yeah.
Do you have a crescent joke?
I like to write street jokes again, like just write, like
those,
but
are
like
the
from
best,
scratch,
bro.
like a from scratch street joke.
My favorite. It's not a street joke, but it kind of is. It's like, but the Norm Macdonald joke about the pig with a wooden leg. Do you know that one?
No, I don't.
Oh,
even
buddy,
think I
can I
don't know
tell
how
it?
I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
I tell this joke like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
It's my favorite Norm joke, but so it's like this is Norm telling it. He's like, yeah, so I was back home and I went back to see my parents. My neighbor's a pig farmer, so he says, Norm, you got to come over and see my pigs. So I went over, saw his new pigs, and this little pig ran up to us. It had one wooden leg. And I said, wow, Pierre, that's the pig farmer's name there, Pierre. And I said, Pierre, what's with this pig with a wooden leg here? And he says, that's a very special pig. He goes, this pig saved my life. One time there was a fire in the house. This pig broke out of the pig pen, ran up to the house, knocked his nose on the window until he broke the glass, woke us up, and he saved my wife and my son and my life. We ran out. He saved our life. I said, wow, that's amazing. He says, yeah, another time he was wandering around and on the property. He saw my son down in the well. So he came and got us and brought us back to the well, and we saved his life. I said, well, that's amazing. I go, but you never explained about the wooden leg. Why does he have a wooden leg? And he looks at me and says, Norm, a pig that special, you can't eat all at once.
That's so good.
That's a good joke.
I love that one.
He's the best.
Best, bro.
Yeah. I got one more Greek and Italian.
Buddy, I love it.
Or one more Greek and Italian one?
Yeah.
I like these kind of jokes because when I was a kid, like my dad, because we have a lot of European immigrants around here, you know, and like all the farmers from Europe, when they so they had like the Belgians and the Dutch and the Hungarians and the Portuguese, you know, and so all the different people that came from different places or whatever. And so they're all in my grade school class, you know. My dad always asked, when I asked to bring a friend over, what's his last name? And then he would proceed to make the according jokes for that culture or whatever it was. Yeah.
Love it.
And then normally when him and his buddies would get together, they would be there'd be a Belgian or a Portuguese or something in the mix. And you'd hear those jokes as a kid. You'd hear like them like busting each other's balls, you know, and it's mostly based on wherever their parents immigrated from, right? And then, so as a kid, that's the stuff I heard, and they're always hilarious jokes, like I thought, you know, because everyone was laughing, and I thought it was funny. And then now my kids tell me it's racist, but I still think it's funny. Like,
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, like, I mean, if my buddy's house smelled different Like, how do you not make fun of that?
Of course, man.
Like, how come when I have a glass of water at your house, it tastes like fish? You know,
Yeah.
like that doesn't make any sense to me. You know,
The
doesn't-
dishwasher doesn't
Right.
work in full capacity. Probably it gets mixed up with all the fishy water with the dishes
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in that house.
sometimes. But that's funny you say like the smell of the house. I think that's people's like unique smells to their houses are so funny.
Yeah,
Where it'll
yeah.
be- it's funny like if I go to my parents' house after a while and I like, holy fuck, this house smells like fucking pasta or like garlic. You know what I mean? But I don't notice it.
Yeah, my in-laws' house smells like cabbage rolls.
How about Indian food?
Love it. Love to eat it.
Yeah,
Hate
but
smelling it
remember
in
when
the
you're
house.
no, but yeah, when I was a teenager, you'd be in a building, you're like, oh, that smells horrible, and then now you get older, you're like, oh,
Yeah, what the fuck's cooking?
I'm so
Yeah.
hungry now.
It was because it was so foreign to us as kids, I think. And then now
It's so weird, and we weren't as open minded when you're a kid to try new things.
And then we probably never ate the food, so we couldn't even associate the smell with the taste. And now when we smell it, we're like, oh, I know what that is. It's tandoori chicken. It's delicious, you know?
Yeah.
We've ate it.
So
Maybe that's what it is.
I think.
But I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I hate to say it, but like I remember when I was younger, I used to think Indian food or like curry smelled almost like BO. I think it's just because like for some reason maybe it's a lot of onions or whatever, and the smell of onions kind of reminded me of that, or maybe it's just the way I smell.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? When I smell bad, but that's what it reminded me of. And then I got older and started tasting it, like you said, and then it was like, oh, that smells amazing.
Were your parents old school Italians?
Well,
Would you make your own prosciutto and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that and like our own, and like our own sauce. Like my mom came here.
You
on
grew
a
up
boat.
that way too, right?
my dad made everything.
Yeah,
So
right.
my dad did most of the cooking. My mom did a little bit of cooking, but my dad was like, he could have cooked for an army.
This is a wild story. Not wild, but I love this story about Manolis' dad. But he has they have this tree in the front yard of the house.
Yeah.
And it's native to like basically Greece, I think. Oh, that's where it's from, right?
I guess so. It's I think it's called fika or something.
Okay,
like
whatever. It's this tree that yields like this fruit. They look like almost pears or something, right? There's
Yeah,
weird fruit. I didn't know what the fuck they
Like
were.
almost like
And then-
giant lemon.
Yeah, and then there was like one day or like one weekend, it was like everyone, all the Greeks in the area, like smelt the fucking air or the dirt. Or I don't know, but like they all congregate to the house, and they pick the fruit off Manolis' dad's tree.
Yeah.
I guess they used to do this every year, probably, right?
Yeah, for years.
So
My dad's
they
dead
come by.
now.
His dad
Yeah,
passed
yeah,
away
yeah.
this year, so they come by and they're all just picking. They're walking away with bushels of it. I'm like, what's going on? And some of these guys will come back. They make this thing. It's like almost like a jam, but it's like this preserve where they boil this fruit down
Yeah.
with tons of sugar. They keep adding sugar and keep boiling it down, keep boiling it down, keep boiling it down, and then put it in jars. And it's like this jam of like the special fruit. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's the most delicious thing ever.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So we put it like so all these people will come back, and because they're like thankful for Manolis letting them take the fruit,
They'll give 'em the-
they give them jars of this shit.
Oh, cool.
That was amazing. Yeah.
And then I let Chris try it, and I put it on ice cream one day, and him and my buddy Mike Sr. like lost their shit how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
just
like crack, dude. Like I ate the shit out of it. And like I bug Manolis, I'm like, you got any more of that? He's like, no, you have to wait till next year. I'm
Here
like,
it
what?
is. Here it is. I
Next
found it.
year? You can't wait a year for
It's
more of that.
So you can buy these in Fortinos, right? So my dad planted 3 trees on the house
Yeah.
because he just wanted. It's no wait, yeah, it's Quince.
Quince.
That's what it's called. Quince.
I wish you could have brought some, Pete, but I ate it all.
Like Quincy.
Yeah,
There it is.
there
That's
it
it.
is. That's the
So
one.
my dad has 3 trees on his property that grows those. But like these trees, you look at them and you think, there's how many can this one little tree have? Like there's probably like 300 or 200 on one tree.
Really?
Yeah. But when you go to 14, I've seen them at Fortinos. They're about $1.50 to $2
For one of them.
for one of them. So like when these Greek people come around, like like his friends, different friends, they just take a couple bags each. But like so like I was like so dreading it, dude, because it was my dad was dead, and I'm like, fuck, the tree's almost. I knew it was ready to. I knew they're just gonna come.
Yeah,
They don't care.
like crows.
No, I know.
Yeah, they don't care. They're like, I know your
vultures.
dad's dead, but I come every year,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah.
Your dad wouldn't want it to go to waste anyways.
No. So they'd knock, and I'd say, yeah, just I take as many as you want. I'd tell each person
Go nuts.
to go nuts, and
Yeah.
but it's like It's like, yeah, they cleaned it all. Like they got it
well,
all.
then if you got to think of it like that, if they're probably taking some of them like 50 to 100 of them, that's like $300 sometimes, or like they're taking more. You know what I
so
mean?
much.
This a lot of money. I was like, those trees paid for themselves. I'm sure of it.
Oh my
The
god!
shit that he
Every year, man. I if I ever sell that house, that's what I think is going to be hilarious.
the Greeks going to that new family's house that they have no clue about.
Yeah,
that's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That would be funny. Just like some new white family or whatever. They have no clue.
There's all
Come
these
from Toronto trying to take advantage of the Hamilton market. Next thing you know, they got a fucking bunch of malakas on the front yard eating fucking these Quincy's. I love it.
I have to fucking go. And there's the thing. Some of these people are old. They're like my dad's friends, right? So they're like, oh, I'd say, yeah, help yourself. I can't. Can you help? So then I have to get a ladder, and I have to go to the ones on the top. So I'm picking the fucking tree. For these old people that can't even get. It's just fuck.
Yeah, but they still want. That's the thing. That's why they're still alive in their 90s. Probably is because they are still going to get the fruit to make.
That's true.
They still have that purpose,
to live for. Exactly, purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing I want to say, funny with Manolis and old people, is his mom's in a home now, right? This place in Hamilton. It's a nice place.
Willow's Grove. Sorry.
Shout out to Willow Grove. And so he brought me there one time to see his mom, right? Because I know his mom. We talk. She likes talking to me. We have convos. And so he's like, "Come by." All right, yeah, okay. It's by Christmas, so we go, and it was so funny, fucking walking through the halls to go see his mom, because we had to go down a hall, upstairs, elevator, fucking down another hall, right? Every 10 feet we're walking by, it was like I was like a freshman in high school and he was like a senior. We're walking through the hall. He's like John Travolta and like fucking Saturday Night Fever. All the old ladies that are there, they're like, "Hi, Manolis," and they're like, "Stop me." He's like, "Hey, Susan, Tracy, how you doing?"
It's
Bernadette, like he knows them all by name. Like they're talking to them all the whole way to his mom's room. It was the funniest fucking thing I ever seen.
There's Lois. There's Margaret. There's Jackie. There's who else? What was that? What was their name? Margaret. There's Margaret. Phyllis. There's a Phyllis.
Of course there is.
I know. So I know almost all. I want to know everybody's name. I am horrible with names too, but I know almost all these ladies' names.
Yeah.
Almost all.
Like you are bad with names, and somehow you have all of these fucking in the chamber ready to go.
I'm like every day. Hey Sarah. Hi. I'm like, hey Jackie. Hey. Like, hey Lois.
Yeah.
And they fucking, dude, because they're all old as fuck too, right? And
the one girl was like, "What about me?" She was like facing the other way. We were walking by. She's like, "What about me?" He's like, "I'm sorry, Sarah," or whatever the fuck his name was.
You think I forget you? Come on. But I'll talk to them too. I fucking.
Well, they're great. Old people have lots of good stories. If you can get and tell it just once.
Yeah.
But they have lots of cool stuff to say. That's what's interesting about it. And also, I like talking to old ladies because I'm like a boy toy to them. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know when you're pushing and
They're bored, man. They're bored as fuck. You know
It's actually a good place to probably meet chicks if you don't mind them older.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a nursing home or a retirement home?
It's a nursing home.
Oh yeah.
But I don't like
they won't get away as easy.
Yeah, right. They're they're definitely all in wheelchairs. But yeah, they're nice. They just, I know it really makes, it's just a little change to their day.
Yeah.
Of the same thing happening every day.
Yeah, when my kids were young, I brought them to fashion shows or something that my sister did activities coordination for that stuff.
Right.
So because when my kids were like little cute kids, you know, you bring them to the old folks home, and the old folks get to, get riled up because they get to see cute kids or whatever. Sometimes they bring them dogs and stuff too.
It's a real thing, man. It's it really helps old people.
Yeah, so I brought my kids for like a fashion show to get them all excited. It was nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. That's only about my only experience. And then my fourth floor at the hospital, my grandma was there for a long time, and sometimes there was I ended up knowing the roommates better than my grandma didn't talk, so the roommates talked, so I would always get to know the roommates. The one lady had no legs.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she was a talker though. I mean.
Diabetes, I'm guessing.
What she lacked in legs, she made up for in lips.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to her legs.
I just always assume it's diabetes, isn't it?
A lot of
but
times
she's
it is.
skinny though,
Yeah, but you can be skinny and have diabetes.
like Jason
Well, yeah,
Allen.
you can get it's true, or like type 2 diabetes. Well, type 2 diabetes, I think you're more fat because
Yeah, type 1.
Type 2, you bring it on yourself, right?
Yeah, that's
It's like
I mean, you deserve
you worked
it.
for it.
yeah. Type 2 you can fix by changing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
That means you shouldn't have it.
Can you really call it a lifestyle though? At that point, if you're eating carrots all the time,
Right?
You ever done it?
carrots? No,
No, it's not for you.
carrots. Put a little. Actually, we put carrots in the pasta sauce. That's where we put them.
Yeah, you grate them up and then you don't see them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
instead of sugar.
Yeah, you know what? You know what I like to do with my gravy instead of using flour.
What?
I just take the. This is what I started doing. You know, you take. I think it's called a vichyssoise or something.
Don't know.
I don't know what it is, but it's the carrots. You take 3 carrots, 2 celery, 1 onion. Right. That's a base for anything. Right.
Sure.
This is the French do. 3, 2, 1. 3 carrots, 2 celery, 1 onion.
Interesting.
And then, so you chop those up. That's your savory base, right? Then you throw in like a bay leaf or 2. You know, no big deal. Some
For luck.
For luck.
yeah, and then some garlic, and then, anyways, we roast whatever you roast, and then afterwards you want to make the gravy. You know, instead of like taking the vegetables out or whatever, straining them.
Yeah.
I just like take one of those like wand things that like make soup or whatever.
Yeah, like the blender type.
blender
things?
wands, yeah. And I just blend it all up the vegetables.
For sure.
And now
It makes it like thicken it up a little bit.
now it's just like thick gravy
instead
and
of flour.
Yeah, instead of no flour. Yeah,
I like that idea.
I can't eat it, and it's delicious.
That's cool about the 3-2-1 thing, like in French culinary. I never heard that, but
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what is it? 3 carrots, 2 celery, 1 onion.
Yeah,
I like it.
always ends up being a good ratio and it tastes great.
Smart.
And then you're like, what is that? And you're like, that's what that is.
That's what you say it was called. It was called something weird.
It's called like
But what is it for?
It's for anything. You make soup or anything, any kind of mostly like soup, I guess, or stock, shit like that.
Like if you're gonna do like a stew or
stew or like a prime rib, anything.
yeah,
like
roast or
Roast, yeah.
or like if you braise something or anything like that, where you want a savory flavor. That's your base would be those 3. Anyway, V. It's like it starts with a V.
I'll look it up.
I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Now I'm hungry, man.
Yeah, that one was like a game changer though because you don't have to do nothing but grind it up, and then everyone loved it, you know, because it was already thick and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
I love it. I like. I've always liked cooking because I was when I was at the bank. I had no creative outlet except for cooking because that was the only thing you could do that would let you, you know, show any sort of like imagination. Or,
When did you stop working at the bank? How long ago?
2013.
Okay.
So 9 years ago now.
When did you start doing comedy?
8 years ago.
So after the bank.
Yeah.
Took a little break and-
Yeah, what happened was I quit, and then I bought this. I bought this building, and I had to like renovate it, and then move my wife's business into it. And so I was like, I'll just do that, and then I'll go back. And then when I stopped to do that little renovation project, it was my first time being away from banking for 15 years, and I lost like 20 pounds right away. I wasn't in chronic pain. I was like, I just felt free for the first time, and I was like, I can't go back.
You're doing home renovations, and you weren't in chronic pain. It felt
Wait,
better.
Yeah,
The
I was
stress?
literally like hammering out cement.
So
and
what made you lose all the weight?
It was
Just not
just
having
stress.
stress?
Immediately, the stress went away, and I lost 20 pounds of stress weight just immediately.
It's from jackhammering.
Yeah, well, that was even like it was amazing how much of a difference it made in my life, because it was like 15 years of like waking up in the morning saying like, I fucking hate this, I shouldn't be doing this, and like to the point where I'm getting sick in the shower and stuff like that, saying like I just don't want to do this.
Been there.
But you just do it because you have to, and then you just keep doing it. But you're there the whole day in the back of your mind. It's just constantly just telling you like, this is wrong. Get the hell out of here.
you.
know?
There's so many people in that position right now, like, and it's because they need the money to, you know, maybe they have a wife and kid and a mortgage.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to just quit your job? It's not that easy. But
No.
like people are working shitty jobs all over the world, and it's fucking horrible.
No, I know, and then that's my number one thing when people talk to me after the shows, after a comedy show. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about like how they hate their job and they're really envious of us that we can do what we do. And
I'm like, bro, I still have a job. I still fucking slug it out too, though. But
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah, but you grind it. You know, you do that, and
well, that makes it necessary to do comedy sometimes. Like, I couldn't do comedy if I didn't have a fucking job. I could.
Dude, I was like, I used to, when I was a lifeguard, I would like work during the day, and then I get in my car, drive to Toronto, do a spot, drive all the way back, go to sleep. Yeah. Wake up and do it again, like work all day again, and like I would do that sometimes 3 days in a row. Like you're doing spot, like you just grind it, and then if you're lucky, you might get to a point where you can like not have to work and just do stand up, or do other things. But it's hard, man. It's like it's a long road. That there's a lot of successful comedians, especially in Canada, that have jobs
For sure.
yeah, I mean. I work harder now than I did when I had a job, for sure.
Really?
Like not even close. I work so much harder now than I ever did when I had a job.
On creative outlets, you mean? Or
Well, on my just trying to make shit work without a job. Like so I decided I'd take one job and replace it with like 10 jobs that made a little bit each, and so I just make a little bit from each of these little places and it equals the one job that I used to have. But because it's all self-directed, you get back what you put in, right?
Yeah.
So and then comedy and everything creative that you do, there's this period of time of probably like 10 years or an indefinite, maybe forever, where the amount you're putting in is far greater than the amount you're getting back. And
return on investment. We call that ROI.
Yeah, and you're not, and comedy is like doesn't use that equation, like it's not about that. If you're doing that, I don't think you're doing it for the right reasons, like it'll happen. Like
it could happen.
It could happen, and what will happen will, but you don't know how it's going to happen. And
yeah, even if you have a plan and you're focused and you're trying to do
it's not going to happen the way you think.
It's like Two Rocks.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah,
it's just the difference. And Canada is just it's so much different than like
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You ever think about leaving?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think about leaving. Maybe like if my mom one day, like my mom, I visit my mom every day.
Yeah.
Like and
I'm in the same boat. I can't. My parents and my
parents. Like I'm Greek, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the idea of if I left like fucking Canada and I was like in New York and all she could do is just talk to me on the phone once a day, she'd be devastated. You know what I mean? Her sadness would destroy me, and it just sucks. Like we're like like most I don't think European. We were talking about this, me and Chris, about Europeans, I guess in general, probably maybe most kids are just raised with guilt.
Yeah,
like I'm like
we're in that boat. I'm in that boat too. Like we're Dutch Hungarian. Either way, it's Catholic guilt, and it'd
be great to be like a sociopath or whatever you call those things, where they just have no emotion.
Yeah, I think about that too.
It'd be great to be a psychopath.
But it's not like I could just say fuck you to my whole family and just leave.
Yeah, I feel terrible about thinking that sometimes, but I do, because like it's hard. Like you're trying to get your own shit together, and then you got a family to think about. Then now you got to take care of your parents on top of that. And then
I rather my mom not be lonely than me being, famous.
Yeah, well,
I mean, but who wouldn't say that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to forgive my. I don't know. I think there are people that would say that, though. I think we know people.
There's lots, dude. There's tons of people that are like, I don't know. I think about this too. Like, yeah,
we're lucky that we have families that haven't pushed us away or made us feel like we're, not welcome or what. I see people that they don't have a relationship with their family, and I just don't get it. I'm lucky. My family's very important to me. Like my cousins are. Like I have 29 cousins. That we're all like super tight. Like
Right.
Like
that's
really tight.
rare. That's great.
And so like it's like family's really important to us. Like so like we don't when we see somebody that doesn't have a relationship with their family, it's like I just feel sad for them all the time. But maybe they're free, like maybe that's the.
Maybe they are. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're. I wouldn't say I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I would definitely.
I think everyone fucking wants what they don't have. So like if you're saddled with this where you feel like you have to be there for someone and you're longing for the freedom of something else, but then there's the other side where those people you may think they're free, but they're longing for that connection probably.
That's right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think everyone's like that. You always want what you don't have.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, man, when I watched my dad die, and my heart was shattered. You know, and I think and I see a guy like that doesn't have a dad, and I'm almost jealous that he didn't have to go through that pain.
Yeah, but it's one of those that's like one like I in the last little bit since I've gotten help from a therapist and I've done a lot of philosophy work, like looking, and I got cancer, so I do a lot of stuff about death. I think about
existential type shit.
Yeah. I was that way even before I had it. Like I just kind of went down a rabbit hole of that sort of stuff. And my belief is that like there's balance in the universe, and that you can't have anything of good without something bad to balance it out. So you can't feel bad like you felt when your dad passed away unless you loved him like you did.
Right.
It's like almost like the price you pay for getting such a good relationship.
Yeah, you got what you got, and that's kind of like what you got to pay. Yeah.
I think that's a really kind of profound thing, honestly. Like the in terms of balance, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like you can't feel love without heartache. Yeah. Like you can't do it. Like you can't feel happiness without.
It's like
sadness.
because there's no
It's the other side of the coin.
Yeah, well, there's no basis for comparison.
Yeah.
Like relativity, right?
Yeah, if you're orgasming all the time, you wouldn't even appreciate an orgasm.
That's right.
Because it would feel like normal.
It's like I always remember thinking like when your heart's broken from a chick, and then when that day comes where you realize you're not broken anymore, your heart's not broken, you're not missing her, and you're like, there's a different kind of, you almost like, there's a different kind of sadness. It's like, because like a day before, at least you did still care, and now you don't care about anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not like like you still care about your family, but like there's like the broken heart is still like love.
Yeah.
You still had this love that existed.
Yeah.
And now this love, now I'm like, I don't really care if she, like, I'm over it.
You're over it. Yeah.
You're over it, but you're like, but that love is gone.
Yeah.
And that itself is almost sadder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like if you go to tell jokes and someone in the audience hates you enough to stand on their chair and say, I hate you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You evoked emotion from that person, you know? That's way better than if they just were like looking at their phone.
Right.
You know, they were paying attention to your act. They were engaged with it. They felt something by your words. They hated you, but isn't that better than if they were just could care less and they were indifferent to your act? You know, like it's the same sort of thing. It's like if no one cares, it's not unpleasant. But if you can make people care, then you know some people are gonna hate it, some people are gonna love it. But at least they're feeling something, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the way I look at it. I don't care if a person, like to me, if a person's upset with a joke, I'm almost as happy as if they're not upset, but like if I get a shock response or even if it is kind of like
it's not as good as a laugh, but at least it's something. It's like at least they're listening, and at least I'm hitting them somewhere. There's something there. It's a spark.
They feel
if I can find a way to like get the right people on board, or tweak it a little bit so that it becomes there's no way for it to be anything else but funny. Like, or if you can't deny the funny in that,
Yeah.
but at least you know there's something there. There's some other spark, something to work with.
Because they call comedy, like we try to argue as comedians, at least our association that represent us, they try to say we're an art so we can qualify for money from the government and stuff like that. But like, that's what an art's supposed to do. A great art is supposed to evoke emotion, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like, I know we're supposed to evoke laughter.
See, yeah, I do kind of think about that though a lot.
But if I was to make you like sad for a piece of my set, am I a shittier comic?
yes, you're Hannah Gadsby.
Damn it!
Yeah, sorry, dude.
You
Hate to
can't
say
ever
it.
work it in good. You can't. What?
You can, but you know what I mean. That's
Yeah, I
that's
know
what
what you mean,
that's
yeah.
that's, and I hate to say it, but that's the first person I think of when I think about that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
but you still need
well, maybe I'm
jokes.
onto something. Maybe you're right, but you can. I find you can always find funny in that, and sometimes it's not easier, but if you're taking them down a path of like I'm going down this existential road or like with a bunch of meaning, and then you can fucking bring funny out, like undeniably funny. It's great because it's such like a misdirection too.
Yeah, I think in order to do that, you gotta dumb it down to the lowest common denominator. Like you have to make sure that you're not saying anything smarter than anyone in your audience because you'll lose them because the subject matter is too heady, you know.
Yeah.
So you gotta like almost talk about it like you're.
Well, John Mellencamp, I heard him in an interview from the 80s, actually. It's like, when I make my songs, I don't want to make them too fucking fancy. Like the way I play the guitar, I want it to be like anybody can just pick up their guitar and play one of my songs. That, like if they're just hanging out at a fire.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want it to be simple.
Yeah. Mark Twain says. He said, like, the great writer. Yeah, he still says it. The great writers are like fine wine. I'm like water. He goes, everybody drinks water. You know what I mean? I think that's how I want to be.
That's
like,
cool.
That's how I want my jokes to be too. Like, I mean, I don't care to be like the most profound guy, but I would like it if you're at work the next day telling your buddy my joke. You know,
Right.
because and in order to do that, you gotta make it simple and easy to remember and
A smart
in the language they would speak.
I think a smart comedian will know how to make a joke simple, or like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like if you're trying to make it all wordy, or
Yeah, I agree.
Then
I think
you're
that's why street jokes are the best. They're so simple and basics. It's like
Hey, I was watching a video about songwriting with my daughter, and they said to make your songs better, and I think it could work for jokes the same way. They said go look at all your jokes and underline or songs. They said, but go through all your jokes and underline the verbs.
the adverbs and the adjectives.
Well,
Or
the
the
verbs first, because the verbs are the
verbs in action, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
verbs, the action word, and those are the power word of the English language. So, like the example they gave was like you can either the girl walked into the room or the girl slithered into the room. You know, just by changing that one word, you're like changing the whole connotation of it, and you gave her. You can see her now move in. It wasn't just what she
to
was
make
doing.
the song more.
Like to be more descriptive, like in songwriting or in joke writing, you want to like have word efficiency. You know, like you don't want to like waste words. You know, if you can get to the joke quicker, it'll be better usually. I mean, the Norm Macdonald's moth joke would be like an exception to the rule. You know.
Yeah, but in a way he wasn't. He was still back to that. Like he had no wasted words he did, but he didn't. Like he didn't waste words.
He didn't waste words, but he knew how to pull a joke. He stretch it out
Yeah.
in a way where it's like, where's this? Like
But when it came to the important things, there were no wasted words. Like set up.
he's probably one. He's probably in the top 10 of he's probably one of the best.
Yeah,
He might be in the top 5.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Like he seems like he's just talking out of his ass, but he's like every word counts with that guy. When I have a joke and I get it down, eventually I have to do it to that point, but I'm still just kind of like, I just kind of figured it out on stage. And he's like, I think he's very, this is the word, meticulous.
Yeah.
Like he's almost like, he reminds me of Mace Galoni in a way. Mace is like, we all know Mace.
Yeah.
Mace writes, he writes a joke where like he probably writes it down and he says it exactly the way he writes it. You know, it's every word.
Yeah,
These guys do it in a way where every word is accounted for. Just it's a natural way of doing it.
Yeah.
I think with Norm too, when he would do that kind of stuff, it was like not just about eliminating words and making them all count, but he did it like when you talk about how he'd stretch out a joke or whatever and find like he did it to amuse himself. I think a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when he'd go on like The View and they were expecting something different. And he would turn it into what he like his.
Oh, yeah.
Their show became his show for that segment.
Yeah.
It's like
He always won.
Yeah, he always won. Exactly,
won.
he always won.
Yeah.
It was.
You can't beat a person that doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
He just didn't give a fucking
Where do you
shit,
hit him?
man.
You can't hit him where it hurts.
He was, I would say for sure, fearless, man.
Yeah, fearless.
Fearless. I mean, like they told him to stop making jokes of OJ.
Yeah.
He's
Like, that's
nah,
true,
I'd rather
right?
get fired.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
They told him they're like,
Yeah.
if you don't, because like I think it was Lorne
Lawrence
Michaels' buddy
friend- yeah.
was like friends with OJ.
Oh
or
no,
the head of
it was
NBC.
not Lorne Michaels, but
Someone in NBC.
yeah,
one of
Dick
the heads.
Ebersol or
Yeah.
someone like that. Yeah.
And the word came down.
And Norm's like,
word came
no,
down.
just get fired instead.
So
I
he
think
just-
I'll
you know,
keep
you
making
tell-
better jokes.
Tell a fucking comedian to not do something? What are you, fucking psycho?
That's daring them to do it.
Yeah, you just like I always blows my mind. People like will have an issue with fucking what's his name? They weren't going to let him do Massey Hall. What's that guy's name?
Oh, Andrew Schultz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, Massey Hall didn't want him because they thought he was too something, whatever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, what are you guys, fucking psychos?
Psychos.
Psychos. Like, listen, Massey Hall, if you truly hated him, you just let him do your fucking Hall and let him move on. All you did was make him bigger.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just.
You do this with everyone they cancel.
Yeah, you
like,
don't.
what's
you
the
obviously
big
don't
fuss
hate
about?
him. You
What's
must
the big
love
fuss
him.
about?
Yeah.
What?
Everyone's like, oh, what's the big fuss about?
Yeah, what's the big
What's going on with
fuss?
this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what
He
is
must
the
be
big fuss?
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like he's just a dude telling jokes.
I
What's
know
the
it's the
big
best
deal?
thing that could happen. Honestly, like I have nothing you could cancel. Like you can't cancel me. I have nothing to lose. Like I already did it to myself. I canceled myself. You know.
Yeah.
Like so, you can't.
Massey Hall.
But
Give
like
me a fucking
all you're
break.
gonna do if you cancel, if I said something that you didn't like and you cancel me, all you could possibly do is gain me an audience. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
you
Yeah.
more interest in me.
yeah.
Have you
People
seen?
don't know who I am.
Have you seen Louis' new special? Sorry,
I've seen some of it.
buddy.
It's
deadly.
good what I've seen,
I loved
yeah.
it. I thought it was so funny.
Have you seen the whole special? It's really good.
Yeah.
Dude, did I ever tell you I shook his hand?
No.
No.
After jerk or before?
After the jerk.
Whoa.
Oh.
After the scandal.
In a hotel or?
No, it was he was walking. It was at Niagara Falls Yuck Yucks. He's doing those shows.
Oh yeah, I remember when he did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went, and I just he was like walking right by. I put my hand out to see if he'd shake it,
Like the Pope.
Yeah.
and he shook my hand. And I'll tell you something. His hand was so fucking soft.
Really?
Yeah, it was the softest hand I've ever felt in my life. And I was like, I had this moment of clarity. I'm like, this is why he jerks off.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh, you got
Like
a
his-
nice
Soft hand like that.
Yeah, he's like, this hand probably feels better than a vagina.
Yeah.
Did
that's
you?
right.
You should have asked him if you could try his hand.
I would like, yeah, I'd rather if
This
he was like,
explains a lot.
yeah, I would say if I was in a hotel with him and
Yeah.
he's like, can you watch me jerk off? And I'd be like, as long as I can go second
So I can go
Yeah.
with your hand
With
because I
your
felt
hand.
it. It's amazing,
Yeah, it was a
His
nice
hands-
soft hand like
dude. It was the softest hand. It was like I felt like I was like blessed by God. Like when he shook my hand, like this hand's beautiful.
that. Yeah.
How's that hand so soft?
Yeah, when I
I-
jerk off, it's like with sand.
I have my hands are sandpaper, dude.
Yeah, it's not good.
Your hands are like sandpaper. I tried jerking off with your hands once.
Oh,
When I was sleeping, he just
roommates.
put it-
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Louis in the top 5 for sure. What?
Yeah, he's in the top 5 for sure. I'd say.
I would put Attell in my top 5 because he's my favorite, all-time favorite.
Yeah, a lot of people like to tell he's very funny.
Attell?
Yeah.
I met Attell. I talked to Attell one time, and he was like super nice. Thank God he was super nice to me.
Oh, me too. I met him one time in Buffalo. I was having like a huge panic attack too, and
Because you were talking to him?
I think it had something to do with it. Yeah, because like I didn't want to meet him really because I liked him so much. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
so
if
you
you
don't meet
meet him
your
and he's
heroes.
a dick, yeah.
They say
then-
don't meet your heroes, right?
Yeah, but he was so nice. The comics that were performing with him, like the guys opening and stuff, and afterwards he came out to the bar area to talk to the people that came to watch the show.
Oh
and
shit!
And I just went up to him and said, "You're on my Rushmore," or something like that. And he was like, "Ah, man, you just made my night." He was like super kind and
That's
nice,
super cool.
When I was, you got something?
No, go ahead.
When I was at the Comedy Store and I saw him show up one time, that I talked to him afterwards. That's when I talked to him.
Yeah.
I kind of chased him a bit because he was swamped with
people.
but like not all the comedians. When it's like you think Jesus showed up.
Yeah.
Like every comedian that a Comedy Store comedian was like, you know, just couldn't stop talking to him. Like everybody wanted a moment with him. But then I saw him a second time. I was with Ari at the fucking cellar upstairs, and he showed up. And that time it was like, what's cool about him? This is why it's cool because he knows like everybody up. I was hanging with Ari, but everybody around that area where all the comics are hanging, they're all like basically famous comedians, and they all know each other. And I'm there knowing like, who the fuck's this dude, right? I'm not you know, I'm not in the loop.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with those guys. Attell looks around, gives everybody like, hey. But he sees me. I look at him. He looks at me, but he gives me the nod. He's like, hey, dude. Like, he knew I was obviously a comedian.
Yeah.
But he just gave me that. He gave me a little nod, and then that was it. I didn't bother him. I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? But I was like, he's just a fucking dude, man.
Well,
He's a cool guy.
everybody really is, eh? Like, that's when it comes right down to it. But yeah, he's, I think, the purest kind of like, he doesn't care either. Like, he just wants to make his jokes as good as they can. He just wants to do his thing. I don't think he's interested in, like, being rich and famous.
You remind me when you tell that story about your story where you tell about dude at the Laugh Factory, the Jamie dude.
Which
Masada?
Oh, you want me to tell that story?
I think you should. It's funny.
So, I was at this is years ago. I was filming an independent movie like in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for like 2 or 3 weeks. And every night I was just going to the Laugh Factory or the Comedy Store with friends of mine, and I was going with this friend of mine at the time, Jason Rouse.
Yeah,
he was. We'd go in. I just go in with him, and then eventually, like the door guys, and they're all like, "Oh, you're comedians, okay, yeah." Like you just go in for free all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But James Masada, you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
So he owns the Laugh Factory, and I see him every day. I know who he is. I know what he looks like. I know what his story is, but he doesn't know me. I'm nothing to him, right?
Yeah.
So every night, I'd see him like I'd see him like, hey, dude. Like I don't try to talk to him because like, what's the point? Mm-hmm. I know what he knows. If I try to talk to him, it's like, yeah, you're just trying to talk to me. You want to get in here and blah blah blah. I just figure, fuck you. I want to say hi. I want to say hi. So every day I'd say, hey, dude. It's like probably a week goes by. And he eventually he's like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's saying, hey, dude.
Saying, hey, dude, keep saying hi to me like every fucking day. And he knows he's realized I'm friends with Jason at the time. And he goes, hey, he yells at my friend. He goes, what the fuck's with your friend? What the fuck's with that guy? Why is he saying hi to me every day? Who the fuck? Every day. Hey, dude, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy?
He's mad about saying hello.
Yeah, like, because I'm not, like, spending the time maybe kissing his ass or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who cares, right? Yeah. But he goes, and my friend, he goes, oh, no, sorry, my friend. He's like, he's not all there. He got in a bike accident. He's got some brain problems. And that's why he's like that. And he goes, oh, really? He's like, yeah. I guess he believed them for whatever reason. I didn't know this happened. Like, I didn't hear the story till later. Because that next day, I see him, and I just same old thing. I go, hey, dude. And he goes, hey, dude. To me, and I can't believe he's talking to me, right? I'm like, yeah. But he has his hands on my shoulders, too. And he's like, hey, dude, how are you? And I'm like, holy shit. He's talking. I'm great. I'm great. I go, how are you? How are you? It's like, I'm good. I'm like, that's amazing. It's so nice to talk to you. It's so nice to talk to you. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I'll talk to you later. It's like, okay, I'll talk to you later. And I left, but I didn't put it together. I thought he was just talking weird to me because he's like, I don't think his English was his first language.
Yeah, he's got an accent. Yeah.
He's got an accent. So I thought he was just trying to talk to me slower but he thought it was fucking.
Never eventually told you?
He told me like, yeah, later.
But you never told him. He just told you.
Oh yeah, so Jamie Masada still thinks I have a brain injury.
Yeah.
Well,
you ever get booked?
What?
Did he ever book the? Maybe it will get you booked there. Is what I mean.
The funny thing is, like, I don't think he even knows that. Then I think after think it was after that. Yeah, I did. I opened up for Russell at the the Laugh Factory one time.
You should go back there and just keep doing the same thing to him again. Just
Hey,
keep
dude.
going back and be like, hey, dude. After a while, he's going to be like, that motherfucker.
Hey, Russell, you got that bike accident guy to open for you? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he has
so nice of
he would never remember me now, but yeah. Yeah, it's so fun. I get a fucking so many stupid things happen to me in my life like that all the time.
Yeah,
You know, I'm like
I think you're on you have the secret, which is like everyone's the same, you know, and then don't treat anyone different. Like you don't get excited about anybody. You don't get you don't be mean to anybody. You just like everyone's the same.
I said this to Manolis the other night. Like he'll treat whoever, someone even he's opening for, like, you know, whether it's like you know, Ron, who your buddies with still, just all, or like even if it's Russell, but like he'll treat him the same as if like someone like he drove some kid home from an open mic in Niagara Falls the other night. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But you're right. But what you're saying is right.
Yeah, the
He's like,
difference
he
between
treats-
Russell Peters and Pete Van Dyke is the same.
Same.
No, there's
Yeah.
no difference to Manolis.
It's how you treat him.
And then and then everyone just treats you the same way in return. You know, I
Yeah.
find that even
Yeah, that's true too.
my
No one's an
life.
asshole to you, eh? Like,
no,
Like,
I mean,
but
sometimes if they don't know you, but no one who knows you's an asshole to you.
no.
no, you're not putting them above you
No.
they're not, and then they don't put you below them. You know,
Like, I already treat open micers like shit. It's one of my favorite things about being a comic.
I
I'm just
can't-
kidding.
I wish I could too, though. Like some people, you
Some
just want to
people
tell
do,
them
bro.
to stop now. Like,
Oh,
please
man.
stop.
Oh, for open micers, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about even other, like, older comics who are, like, treat younger people like shit.
I always say
see it all
this,
the time.
like, if people, there's a lot of the shitty comedians, the assholes I stay away from, because I always say, like, if someone says, like, Manolis is a nice guy, if you're saying that, and that means you're probably, like, we're probably some type of friends, I'm only friends with nice people.
Right.
So if you're saying I'm a nice guy, you're basically saying you're a nice guy.
Oh,
Because I don't like assholes.
Which I am.
right.
Like,
You are
I
a
don't,
sweet boy.
won't. There's a lot of people that I don't talk to. There's a lot of people I stay away from.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I stay away from people purposefully. Like if I know they're into more trouble than I like to be in or
Yeah.
whatever, I just like avoid it. I don't like cause an issue with it. I just like okay.
uh,
Or if I get fucked over by a guy, like if I book a guy for a show, and then they no show on me, I'm not gonna like try to fight the guy or make a big stink about it. I'm just not gonna book him anymore.
Again.
Right.
You know,
Let's move on.
Just move on. It's not worth it.
I'm gonna throw a little bit of drama in there. I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'll take it.
throw some juicy gossip in there. But I saw a video the other night. I'm gonna throw the guy's name right out there because whatever. But you remember that Neil Griffin? Remember that? dude?
Yeah.
So he was doing the show at, I guess, like Galley Pump like a couple years ago, and I guess his old lady was there and he smacked her in the back of the head. Some weird shit went on. But he made a video the other night, like calling his girlfriend out and calling other people out around, like just nuts, treating people like shit. You know what I mean? And then like he would run around and then ask people. Like I remember him asking me, like, "Did you unfriend me on Facebook?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. You're nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be friends with you."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you imagine that you get upset that somebody unfriends you? Like, who gives a flying fuck? You
Yeah,
know,
well, especially like, it's funny because like he'd ask, he'd be like, "Why?" He'd be like, "Because you smacked your chick around." Like,
yeah.
you know,
It's easy.
yeah,
Didn't Jason punch that guy?
he sure did. I think it was self defense though. It was deserved. It was like the guy was coming after him, but
Yeah, what a lovely self-defense to have, though, eh? If you can have a self-defense.
I think we've all been dreaming about that self defense.
Yeah,
for
it's a
long
nice
time.
one to have, yeah. Jason's not afraid to drop him, though, eh? I've seen him do it a couple times.
Oh, yeah?
One time I didn't see him, but I was on stage. We were at 765 in London, and someone makes a rape joke that...
Fairly recently.
No, this is when I was starting out. Me and Jason started out in London before they came to Hamilton. Like, we were all in London, and then...
Right.
But so this was like 6 years ago or something like that. And we're at 765, and there was someone made a rape joke. I don't even think it was Jason. It was like Peter Reed or someone like that. Like London comics, we didn't have a pro like Manolis, so we just
You learn as you go.
figured it out on the fly. And if you're playing a bunch of seedy places that with a bunch of like degenerate drunks,
Of course.
and you can get away with dark humor. And you'd notice a lot of London comics for a period of time would leave London and like horrify audiences because they thought that's what comedy was, that you could just go like as dark as you possibly could with no like sensitivity at all.
Right.
And anyways, that's very common for London. They tend to go a bit dark because they don't have any guidance. They're not going anywhere. They don't have a pro. They don't have a like ways to like aim for anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so a guy told a rape joke. A guy in the audience was raped in prison or something. Cool. He was raped in jail.
Okay.
So this was a trigger of some sort to him. So then somehow the argument caught about, you know, you should never tell a rape joke, and if it's fun, you should be able to tell it.
You'd think getting raped in jail would be worse than hearing about a rape joke,
right? Yeah. Right? You
or
think
like
after you've been raped in jail, like there's no words can hurt me.
Yeah. Or like if you're gonna say something, like, you shouldn't call it a rape joke. Then if you say joke, it means it's funny. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't call it a rape joke.
Yeah. But anyways, it got real heated real fast, and then they went outside on the street to throw
Jason and someone.
Jason and this dude, and
Nice.
and then all the comics and the audience went out, but I was on stage.
Yo,
So
you know what? You know what that reminded me? One of the best fights I've ever seen in comedy, for sure. But it was at fucking the Pick and Shovel in Cambridge.
Yeah, I love that place. What a
Classic.
hole.
And it was when I was what a hole. It was such a hole, bro. And I was starting out there. It was like my first few months of comedy. And there was a dude, Dylan Scott. I don't know if you remember that. So Dylan Scott was there. And at the bar, there was like a dude that was, I think he was homeless because he didn't have anywhere to go. And like people were helping him out buying him beers or whatever, right? Whatever. But he didn't have anywhere to go. And this one dude that was there, a patron, just started making fun of this guy. And we're all like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, that's rude. Like, this guy's been nothing but sitting here. He's been watching the show. He's been fine. What the fuck's your problem, right? And, like, whatever. And the guy just kept harping on him, calling him names, calling him a bum and shit. So Dylan, like, called the guy outside, and Dylan waited for the guy to do something to him. He just kept whatever. And
I remember this.
the guy did something, and I've never seen anyone... Like, the guy's teeth hit the ground, and he was, like, standing in the air for a couple seconds trying to find his feet, and then he just face-planted.
Oh.
I've never seen a more deserved punch-out in my life, though, than this guy.
Oh, yeah.
It was the best thing. His buddy came over, tried to fight, and we just pointed.
So is this the drunk or Dylan? Which one?
Dylan knocked out the drunk.
Dylan punched the drunk.
Punched the drunk. The drunk was making fun of this homeless dude in the bar. I'm sure
Dylan was like, he was from Brantford, and he had like long, stringy, greasy hair, kind of.
Yeah.
And like
I would know him to see him.
dark sense of humor. Yeah,
Very
you probably wouldn't
dark.
see him.
What was the end of your story?
what was Dylan in my story for?
No, Jason. Did Jason fight the guy?
Yeah, he fought him on the street, and I didn't get to see it because I had to stay telling my stupid jokes.
Oh man,
But everyone else got to see it. Yeah, and
it's tough to compete with a fight. When you're telling
yeah,
jokes.
yeah, he doesn't seem aggressive, Jason. You know, like
Yeah.
He's a hothead when if he gets pissed off.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's got a quick fuse.
He's quick fuse.
Yeah, and he's not, like there's guys like that. They're unassuming. You don't think of them because they're not causing trouble all the time.
Yeah.
But then if they're the ones that you really got to watch out for because you're not even going to suspect them, and then you're going to be in a fight with them, right?
Yeah, well, just don't be an asshole. Just treat everyone nicely.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
You
Yeah.
know? And you won't get punched
Right.
out. And you won't get punched out by comments.
Thank you, Chris. You're right.
I'm just
You're
saying,
right.
You won't get punched out by comments
It's
with long hair.
I'm always amazed how many people are out there always seems to like to try to cause some sort of trouble. Like,
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's like, why are you even doing this?
Yeah, I've never
Like a lot
understood
of it,
Because
it
they're
is
angry
just-
about something else in their life.
obviously, but like, why fuck with a stranger?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
It makes no sense to me.
When I was young, it was all the time. You had to deal with people trying to fight you.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
growing
around
up
here?
was worse for sure.
Yeah, around here, especially it's like Letterkenny.
No
around
shit.
Here. Yeah, you'd go out to like a bush party or something like that, and you'd know that there's going to be fights there, and the tough guys would go there to fight, and then they'd match up, and you'd see a couple good bouts between the tough guy from Waterford versus the tough guy from Delhi or whatever, you know.
It's almost like Fight Club.
But they didn't really
Yeah.
have anything against each other or just like here to brawl?
Well, no, most of the time they had something against
Settle
each
the
other.
differences?
Most of the time it was just to show you're tougher than the other guy. Like I used to run around with this guy that was like 6'8", and he was like a big basketball player guy, right? And every time we would go out to a bar around here, like especially if we weren't known there, every fucking big lug nut in the place would want to fight as soon as he walked in because he's a big giant guy.
Right.
So they would just want to show that they're tougher than him, and then it became he'd have to go in right away and say, "Guys, this is your place, and you're tougher than me, and like you don't have to worry about me." And then they'd leave us alone usually, but sometimes we get drinking and our mouths would get moving.
Sure.
And then we get in trouble, but that's
mouths would get moving.
Yeah. That's this quote I heard. It was like a man's mouth is the most common cause for his broken nose or whatever.
That's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, I was like, that is true.
Yeah.
Because normally when I get punched in the face, I deserve it. I know what I just did, so yeah, I'm usually just like, yeah, that was about right. The one time I got really beat up, though, I didn't deserve it at all. I deserved to get beat up like 100 times up until the point I got beat up, and that one was just a surprise, and that was a misunderstanding. But they kicked the shit out of me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Multiple people?
Yeah, it was a whole fucking flock of Lebanese guys.
Oh, God.
And they just beat the living bejesus out of me right before my wedding. It was like 2 weeks before my wedding.
Did they think you were someone else? I feel like there's a Did they know you?
No. I was in London, and I was drinking, and
did your mouth do this, you mean, or what are you saying?
well, kind of like someone had stole my jacket, and then my friend stole me a girl's red jacket to wear home. It was freezing rain, and I'm wearing this little red jacket, looked like Chris Farley, like in
that was funny.
Fat Man little coat.
Yeah.
And then so my friend goes to these kids that are in the parking lot. They're like, hey, what do you think of my buddy's jacket? And they go, I think he looks like Little Red Riding Hood. And then I just take the jacket off and throw it to the ground. Say, I'm not wearing this thing. It's too small. I'm not wearing this thing. I threw it down. So that guy took it like, fuck you, like those fighting words kind of thing. So as I threw the jacket down, he grabbed my sweater I just got for Christmas too, like for my cousin, and then rips it and then punches me in the nose, like one kind of fell swoop, grabs my shirt and then punches me. And my nose just like blows up. Oh, and then I'm walking with my friends. And I'm like, what happened? Kind of like, don't really know what happened. They go, the guy just punched in the face. And I notice I'm like bleeding and stuff. And then I go like running back he's getting like congratulated by his friends for like a job well done. So I just go like blind rage over top as all his friends just crack him in the face.
You got him a good one?
Yeah, I got him a good one.
Good.
But it's freezing rain. So as soon as I lost my footing immediately.
You slipped, yeah.
And then those guys just kicked the living shit out of me, yeah.
I kind of feel like it might have still been worth it that you got to go back and give him that good crack.
Yeah, that was all right. But and then actually, my friends eventually came and got him off me. And then once they got him off me, they were like, run. So like I just like ran to get out of there. And then the cops came back. And then I'm at my friend's house going like, where are they? And they're not coming back. So then I go back. My face is still like, just looks like a fucking hamburger.
You go back again?
I went back to see like where my friends were. And they were getting loaded in a cop car. And I was like, what the fuck, And they see me coming up all mess. And the cops are like, is this your friend? And they're like, yeah, that's him. That's what we're telling you. Because when they got there, my friends called the cops because they were beating me up. But when the cops came, they saw the kid that I hit. He didn't look that good.
Right.
And then they didn't see me. And so then they just assumed that my friends were the ones that beat them up because they were saying.
So wait, did the cops let your friends go, or did they still?
Yeah,
take
they let my friends go, and then they.
When you said loaded in the back of a cop car, I thought they were taking shots in the back of the cop car. I thought they were drinking.
Oh no,
they're getting loaded. No, they're getting loaded up.
Yeah, they were putting them in the back there because they thought the other kids were saying, "No, we called you," and they're like, "No, we called you," and it was one of those things.
Oh wow!
And then they believed the non-bloody ones.
Right.
So then once they saw me, they're like, "Okay, your story checks out. You can go."
Makes sense.
Because I was bloody.
They're happy, they didn't have to do a report.
Yeah, I didn't care as long as I got out of there. But yeah, it was goddamn Lebanese. There was just so many of them.
Like mosquitoes.
Yeah, there was just so
Whack-a-mole.
many. Yeah, it was a humiliating night. But yeah, that was my first fight. What I realized is that it didn't hurt that bad to get really beat up. And I thought, if I knew this when I was younger, I would have been
Gotten a lot more fights.
I would have been in fights all the time. Thank God I never found out till then.
when you're old enough to not still be like,
I was just
I
about to
don't
get
need to
married, and I don't need to fight anymore. I'm like a grown up now.
yeah.
And then the only fights I've gotten into since have been with my brother. And they've surprised me, too. Because the last fight I got in with my brother, I was like 45. You know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, are we still fighting? Like, we're grown-ups here.
Right.
But he came charging at me. I had no choice.
All right. Sometimes you gotta let him know.
Yeah. Well, he's way bigger and stronger than me, my brother. But he's got an overhand right that's, like, easy to telegraph, right? Like, he just has one move.
Right.
He comes at you with this big overhand right. So I just grab his one hand, and then I tie him up like a pretzel, and then he gets super mad.
So no one really gets hurt.
No one gets
That's
hurt.
good.
No. I've taken punches, but I've never hit my brother in my life.
Chris, you have a couple of brothers, don't you?
I got a brother, yeah.
Older, younger.
Younger.
Would you punch him?
No, we've never gotten into it, him and I. Never once.
He's never punched you?
No, we've never gotten into
Have
it.
you had those kind of, like, have you fought, like,
Not with
verbally?
him and I. Him and I never.
How many years apart?
6.
Oh, that's why.
I guess we've just never gotten into it, him and I.
Wait, is he older or younger?
He's
forget.
younger.
He's
6
younger.
years
You would have crushed him.
Oh, you don't want to fight your younger brother.
No, never.
But now
He'd kick my ass anyways, but I wouldn't.
now he would, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the time that happened, you guys are both too old to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're done with that, I think.
What about you for siblings? Your brother?
I got a brother. We used to fight a little bit here and there. We got in little fist fights through the years, up to like, I don't know, 16, 17 maybe. But like once we creeped up to like 19, 20, like now it kind of all just went away. And it almost like, because I used to hate him. Like I was like, I remember telling my dad one time, I was like, I wish he was dead. Stuff like that. Like, and then they get older and like, I couldn't even tell you why I didn't like him.
Right.
Now, like looking back,
yeah.
I couldn't even, it's not that I can't remember. I don't even know what the problem was looking back. We just, for some reason, we weren't getting along. But he is actually, he's a bit of was a bit of a scrapper in the sense of like, he had a bad temper. He'd fucking his fuse. If like someone pushed him too far, he's the best thing through school. It's like kids would bully him to the point where he just fucking like turned into the Hulk and then like fucking like beat the shit out of like 2 or 3 guys all at once. Like within seconds, this would happen. And so he was like he could fight actually. So like it was weird because he like assholes would try to fuck with him and then they just get the shit kicked out of him by him. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like when I got older, he still had a hot temper, and it'd always be about something nothing. It wouldn't be something to fight about. Like for me, so I would just redirect it. I just knew how to fucking just be chill about it. You know what I mean? Like I just when we got in our 20s, and if he like got fucking mad about something that was not worth being mad about in my eyes, I would just be like, okay, dude. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I just try to calm him down. I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once I got in my 20s, I just didn't want to like, I don't know. I like the guy. I don't want to hit my brother.
Yeah. It's when we were kids, me and my brother would fight all the time. It was like wrestling, you know, like, and you wouldn't really hurt him. He would, but he was younger, so he could hit me. Like, but then you get older, and then it starts getting like more competitive. Like we're closer, and you're hurting each other, and you're wrecking your mom's stuff.
Yeah,
and she's crying in the room and stuff. And then that's what happened with me and my brother. My mom was crying when we were fighting one time. We're just like, we're too old for this. We have to stop because we don't want to.
He'd be in front of the TV on his side, and his one arm's holding his head up, his other arm's free. And during the show, all of a sudden, he's like, it's weird because like it'd almost be like he doesn't realize that it's almost like he forgets that I'm there.
Oh,
like I'm watching. He forgets there's someone in the room watching TV with him. He's by himself, or maybe he wouldn't care if he knew I was there, but he would start I couldn't believe that he did this. And he did this all the time. He'd start picking his asshole. Because I could see he put his hand between his underwear and his butt cheeks, like his bum. So I thought, like, at first I'm thinking, like, oh, he's just going to scratch his butt cheek. But then he's like 13, I'm 12. Then he'd go farther. Because now I'm like, what the fuck's happening right now? Is this happening? And then I could tell he's actually picking his asshole. He's scratching it. Like, finger to asshole. Not like we've all scratched our assholes outside of our jeans, but he's in the asshole.
You gotta have a fabric layer between those things.
Right?
You're not gonna watch that.
Wear a glove.
This is like 1983, okay?
Yeah.
Then, I swear to God, and he didn't even realize.
It.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
You gotta sniff it.
He'd take his hand out at some point, and then he'd sniff his finger, and he'd go like this. His head would go back. Like, holy shit, my finger.
Almost knocked him out.
Yeah, you go, holy fuck, my fingers smell like shit. Yeah, they do, bro.
Your fingers in your ass where your shit is.
That's not the crazy part. Then the commercial would happen, and because during commercials, we used to always think it would be fun to wrestle during the commercial, and then stop wrestling, and then watch TV again. But like this time, he's like he's not realizing like his fingers are fucking got shit on them.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, hey, let's wrestle. I'm like, hey, no, let's not. Your hand's been up your asshole. And he goes, what? Let's wrestle. Who cares? I'm like, are you fucking crazy? And I'd be running away from him, and he'd be chasing me. And I remember one time, he was trying to wrestle me, but I'm holding his one hand with both my other hands. It's like it was
They got shit on it.
like he's got shit. I'm holding it away from Mom. Peter's trying to touch me with a shit hand. Peter's trying to touch me with a shit hand.
This is your older brother, right?
He's my older brother, a year and a half older. But normally what I would do, this is the end of the story, I would just I knew the commercial. I got wise, right? So he wasn't going to stop putting his hand up his ass. So I just as soon as I saw the commercial go on, I'd run to the bathroom and lock the door. And I'd sit there for like 2 minutes. And then as soon as I heard the TV shows back on, I knew he'd watch.
You're safe.
I was safe, and I'd come back out.
I love that you're hiding in the bathroom. Like, that's where he should be with his hands in his ass.
He should be washing his ass.
Flush in the bathroom, scratch your ass, and wash your hands.
What are you doing? I couldn't to this. I don't know. You know what the fucked up part too is? Like, I shouldn't have to deal with this. Like, it's just like, this is not like I guarantee no one else has this story.
You're 8 years old. You shouldn't have to deal with this.
Like,
No, I thought I had a real good time with my brothers and sisters, to be honest with you, and they have a very different memory of me. Like,
oh wow,
my sister, my older sister, she's like a year and a half older than me, and she had nosebleeds because of how much I would stress her out with the amount I made fun of her and stuff like that. When I thought we were just joking around,
No way.
Like I made her eat dirt and stuff, and
That's a good joke.
yeah. All he did was pretend it's a cereal commercial, and then she starts eating chunks of dirt. I'm like, well, that was too easy. It's like you can't blame me for everything. And then my brother, I used to wrestle with him, and I hurt him, like I would hurt him, like I used him just like a doll,
right.
And I can understand him hating me, to be honest. And my little sister, I didn't think I had much to do with her, so I think I'm okay.
With her in her books?
But the other two, yeah, I thought we had an okay time, but they didn't see it the same way.
That's funny because
Yeah.
I understand that. Like my sister's like that too. She's like, you tortured me when we were kids. I'm like, what? I'm like, I protected you. We were good. She's like, yeah, you protected me. You wouldn't let no one else fucking beat me up, but you sure as hell would.
Yeah, that's kind of what my sister says too. I think she threw a pop can at my head one time, a full orange pop can.
Damn.
Yeah, that one really. But you know what?
You don't waste orange.
You don't know
Crush.
about those stories. Sometimes you think it'd tell a story like that forever. Like I remember that time my sister threw the pop can and hit me in the head, and then she's like, "You did that to me, but you remember it backwards,
Right.
You hear that?
Yeah.
They say most of what your memories are wrong. Like almost all your memories are wrong. It's just a
Yeah.
perception of what you think happened.
100%. Yeah, we make false memories all the time.
I believe that to an extent, but I think the ones that are vivid in my mind, like from my childhood, I don't think they're like different than what I think they
Like
are.
the one with Pete's ass fingers?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
ask him about that.
Oh yeah, like it's not like he was scratching his ear. I just made that so he was like, you can't. You see someone put their fingers in their asshole, that's in your brain. You know what I mean? I almost got molested when I was 12. I know exactly what happened that day.
Yeah, you don't forget.
From the fucking my brother threw a ball at my face when I was 12 too, and it hit my eyeball and it fucking popped out and it looked like it was gonna fall on my head. It stayed like that for 4 years.
Jesus.
That was from your brother throwing something. At
Yeah,
your
you know
head?
the picture of my last album, Girl Penis. Yeah,
That's for. I didn't know
that was like a Nerf. It was a squishy Nerf ball. He threw it underhanded to me, and it fucking touched my eyeball. Just touched it.
Just the way it hit it.
It just touched. I wasn't ready for it. Like because he goes Manolis, and he throws it already. And I look. As I look, it was like perfect. It was right there, ready to hit my eye. As I turned my head, and it touched my eye. It watered, and it stayed like that for 4 years. And they said I had a thyroid problem, which I didn't. I took a bunch of thyroid medication for 4 years, and it didn't. I think my head got bigger, and my eye went into my head a bit. That's what I think happened.
Did it make you slow? Did it make you or did it make you like wound up? The thyroid stuff. Do you remember?
I can't remember what the thyroid. I think I felt like maybe more mellow, maybe. But I was definitely taking medication that I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because they were wrong. Looking back, I'm like, oh, this is because of thyroid. No, a fucking ball hit the eye and it popped out instantly.
Yeah.
So how the fuck is this thyroid?
Yeah.
You're saying like kids get hit with balls all the time, and their eyes stay in the socket. It's just my thyroid problem got activated as the ball hit it at that exact moment.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not a fucking thyroid problem, you fucking
stupid,
idiots.
Yeah. They screw up everything.
But I never, yeah, they do. I never gave my fucking brother a hard time about that ever. Never you ruined my life. Everybody think people called me Igor for 4 years.
Wow.
Oh, I was thinking.
I was in special ed.
Because of that.
No, I was in special ed for 2 weeks, and then that happened. And then picture day was like I was in special ed 2 weeks. That happens, and then it was picture day like a couple weeks later. Like that was the fucking peak of the eye popping out of my head.
Oh man, that's when it was at like its biggest.
And you look at it, you've seen it. You guys seen the picture. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I have the real picture at home because people don't believe. Like they're like,
it's a great picture though.
Yeah, they probably think
almost worth it.
I bet they thought you had Graves' disease. Graves' disease.
Never heard
you
of
ever heard of that?
no.
Makes your eyes bulge out like that.
Oh, okay.
And it's thyroid thing. I think.
But you look, if you see look at my right eye, you can see it's still a little bigger.
Little bit. Like I
you
looked
see
for
it.
I looked for it as soon as I saw that girl penis picture because I looked for it in your Today phase.
Yeah,
and
it's
you have to search for it.
apparently it can get a little bigger. Like I think Patrick says when I'm drunk, you can notice it more.
Really?
Yeah.
But if you never saw that picture of you as a kid, you'd never know.
No, but I don't know. It's weird because I was like just young enough too, because I should have been in grade 5, but I was in special ed. I don't know how old then, but like my eye fucking like I think it was like a couple days later. I didn't even think about it. I almost forgot about it, except people would call me Igor. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, it's so funny because I'm this kind of person where people would be like, hey, Igor, or like, hey, Igor. And then this other kid I was hanging out with one time, and he's like, and I forgot that everybody was calling me Igor. I forgot that was my name almost, right? And he's like, oh, is that guy talking to you? I'm like, oh, yeah. People call me Igor because of my eye thing. He's like, oh. I'm like, I would forget that I had a fucking eye problem.
Yeah.
Like it literally didn't bother me ever. I mean, I never gave my brother a hard time about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to fucking touch my bulging eye with his shit fingers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The nerve of him.
The nerve of him, yeah.
We should get him back.
Yeah, you want to do that?
We shouldn't throw a Nerf ball in his eye.
Yeah.
You'd never see it coming now.
No, he wouldn't.
Or put your shit fingers in his face. What the fuck was that for? You know what it was for, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Now we're even.
Yeah. It's I have 2 daughters, right? And you you think girls are gross? No, you think girls are not gross. Then you think guys are gross, right?
Right.
And then you have girls and you're like, they might be grosser. They might even be grosser, yeah. They clean themselves up a lot for us, eh? Like they do a lot of they don't like. But when you have like daughters, they don't give a flying fuck.
Right.
You know, like
they're not trying to impress you.
No, they're not trying to impress their dad. They don't give a care about you. So like you see how gross they can be, and it's gross, you know. But you can't say nothing because they're super sensitive. Like they're very sloppy, like just disgusting hygiene habits as far as like the way they live and stuff. That could just be being young too, you know. I don't know, but it's gross. I could go like at every age of their life, you know, like little girls, like to like grown-ups, gross at every level, like all the stuff that women hide from you. Like I don't want to embarrass them, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's
infants, toddlers.
Yeah, like they'll clean it. Like if like it's yuck, you know. Like like if you think of a man, you know how gross we can be.
Sure.
And put an extra hole onto it, you know? It's going to be that much grosser, isn't it?
Funny, yeah. It's
Yeah.
a funny line.
Funny. That's it. Anyway, we didn't get to any of the robot jokes, and we didn't get to any of the stuff that we were supposed to. We didn't get to feedback. Oh, shit. That's all because I don't have a guy running my board, and because we had great guests, so we're going to do that next week. But if you do want to give me a piece of feedback, go to... Oh, shit. That's not the right one. If you want to give me a piece of feedback, go to livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com or thedutchhall@gmail.com, or go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any of that stuff. Give us a message. Let us know what you think of the show, and we will read your feedback on air. Feedback, come on, play. This is what Kevin always says, play from the... Okay, but that is it for this week. I'd like to thank my guest, Chris Adoranti.
Hello.
And Manolis Zontanos for coming in. Can we tell people how they can follow you on the socials or anything?
Yeah, my just my Instagram is @YouGiveIt, because I don't like using my real name on Instagram, because I like to get in fights with people on Instagram, and I don't like knowing where I'm actually from in my name.
So You Give It.
Yeah, it's YouGiveIt, like YAGIVEIT.
I've seen it, but I never ever.
That's me, baby.
Yeah.
Twitter I don't have anymore. I got kicked off of Twitter, so you can't find me there for now. But I'll let you know, Pete, if that ever happens. But that's me, baby.
Cool.
Thanks.
You Give It. And Manolis Zontanos, you can look for his album Girl Penis. And do you have new stuff out now too?
I'm working with Tyler Shasma tomorrow, looking at my new album I just recorded. So hopefully it'll be out soon.
Yeah. So keep a look for that.
I'm gonna call that one. I think I'm calling it "The Internet Took It."
The Internet Took It?
Yeah, it's a line from my dad. He used to say to me.
Yeah.
From it's
the full message.
The full message. But if you just type Manolis Zontanos, Manolis Zontanos on anything, you'll find me.
Yeah. And go see these guys if you're out. Go support live comedy and see these guys. They're good. They're great to watch. And until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Gave you a train ride before imprisoning you. What's the
That's
difference?
very funny.
What's the difference between Doug Ford and a date rapist?
Hello. How are you?
Date rapist get you drunk before he fucks you.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
Hey, Jane. Earl says you're hot.
I'm Chris. Nice to meet you. I forget sometimes. I just, But yeah. Where are you going, Manolis? Perfect. Wonderful.
Lovely. So how'd it go?
It was fun. Yeah, it was my first time here. It was a lot of fun back here.
I kind of
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you hear it from in there? Like you?
Well, no, I had it on YouTube.
Oh, it does live? I didn't know it was live. Oh, cool. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Nice drive, like weird drive out here, but it was like, holy smoke, so many long roads. It's fine. It's better.
I know.
It's better than being on the
You're
highway
like,
or in the
there's
city.
no
But
city lights here.
I know so much like high beams and
Yeah.
but whatever. It's still a lot of fun. I was supposed to come out here before to do a show, and we couldn't because it was like I think COVID just hit. So it was like I've been trying to get out here for a while. So this was a lot of fun though.
I know, and, right?
Have you been on the show yet?
New lockdown. Yes.
Have you?
And then, evolution of the show. I
Okay.
was on the show a lot earlier.
Oh, okay.
Also
Hold
shitting
on,
in my
Zach.
house.
Unbelievable. That's so funny.
Because it's like, normally I say that, just go to the grass,
Sure.
but it's like, you don't want to shit up there.
It'd be a tough one. It'd be a tough one. I took a long piss. I think I wrote all our names out there in the snow.
The last piss I took out in the snow, the piss made a dip.
Oh, really?
It was a perfect
Without you
dip.
even thinking about it?
Yeah, without even thinking about it. Just
It
was,
probably had a mind of its own, and it
the
was
helmet,
doing.
a shaft, and then balls at the bottom. Clearly a dip.
So did you have to sneak out?
I did.
Yeah.
I was just
So, like, that was
He
long.
knew. I didn't even have to say anything. I was just like, I took my headphones off and I just looked at him, and he's like,
It wasn't like no bits, no feedback. And it went long, like, but it seemed short. And it was nice because, like, I was going to talk about stupid comedian stuff a lot, and then we ended up just talking about life stuff.
stories.
Yeah, more
Growing up in stories and
just
stuff.
really just shooting shit like regular. That's what this is supposed to be. Is just a bunch of dudes.
Holy smokes.
My
Right
neighbor,
up there.
my neighbor came and dropped all that off for free.
Really?
Yeah, in Treeville. Isn't that something? And I said, "Well, what do you want for it? Like, this is so nice." And he's like, "Honestly, I can't move it." So just take it. But like, this is outdoor stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's not bad though.
No, he knows he's.
How far is Shazma from here?
Oh, he's far.
Yeah. No, we just like 20 minutes. Half hour. Where is now?
He's
I don't
out with his dad. He's out of Otterville now. So
Frank,
he's
okay.
with his crazy girl.
This fucking
I heard. Doesn't matter.
You got, like, high ceilings, eh? I love that. High ceilings in a house.
Yeah, it's good, but it's loud.
Is it?
Yeah, everything echoes off.
The acoustics. Yeah.
So I like to go downstairs.
We yell at each other. What did you say? Because it goes down the hallway where the kids' bedrooms are.
Ooh,
I know.
listen to you, Freddy girl. That's just all of a sudden today. COVID. COVID.
COVID.
Comedy.
Gabby. Love you. I like Mark Arlen.
You guys have a pool, too?
Did you see it?
You have a pool?
No. I think one of the shows got canceled. What's her name was supposed to open on one of the shows. Gallagher's.
Oh, really? I know that Tyler Morrison was opening for one.
Yeah. That was one too. You know who I want to see? Have you seen Shane Gillis' special on YouTube?
Yeah.
Buddy, did you love it?
Yeah, I did.
I fucking love that special. It's probably my favorite of the year.
Yeah, it's really good.
So funny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Maybe the whole West Owl with me. You like that one too?
He's good even when he's good on some stuff where I've seen him do like stand-prov kind of stuff. You ever seen?
Yeah. And
And
the skits and stuff too. They're very funny.
And like stand-prov, if you've ever seen it in real life, it's fucking horrible. Like it always ends up being like just a disaster. Every time puts if you put like a suggestion bucket on your open mic and people are drawn from it, like they're fucking idiots.
It's not gonna be good.
No, your joke's not gonna be good. You didn't write
See
anything.
some polished material. Something that you've thought about.
Yeah, like, anyways, it's always gonna be inferior. If people laugh at you, it's just because they don't think it should be good, right? Like real improv too, they get laughs at. If we would tell the same joke on stage, we would get nothing. We would get, but they get it because they say like, "Oh, he came up with it on the spot." So,
Oh,
so wonderful.
genius. Be fun.
I've heard.
Have fun.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You're judging this guy?
Yeah.
That his bit about the age of consent, where he's like,
The
imagine
old guy?
where he's like,
Oh, that's
the
the
first
best.
guys that have to come up to the age of consent. Like, we like to invite up the honorable member from Rhode Island, 12. Why do I have to go first? Why do I have to go first?
Yeah, that was a bad game for a lot of those dudes.
That's funny, man.
So funny. Or like the Fox News dad's so funny too. And fucking, he's like that more.
Oh yeah.
You see a lot of dads who are like Fox News dads. You don't see a lot of like CNN News dads where he's like at the table, he's like, we need to think about renewable energy. He's like, damn, I didn't know dad was gay.
Oh, yeah. Well, that, yeah.
Oh fuck, man.
His skit where he's doing the daycare for uncles.
Oh,
Oh
buddy.
yeah.
That skit? Holy fuck.
All of Gillian Keeves is good, man.
Yeah. That guy.
And they have like one called like Philly Court or something too.
No more.
Like Philly Court or something. It's like it was before Gillian Keeves. It was the same guy, like the other guy. Shane Gillis is in a couple of them, but it's more about the other guy, the Keeves guy.
He says in this skit, remember he says in this skit, he goes, they asked all the uncles together. They're like, okay, do you think this girl's age of consent? And they're like, if you don't, then they say that if you're not sure, they're probably not.
Yeah.
And then the uncle's like, if we're not sure, they're probably not. Like, it's so genius.
They have to like walk him through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Sleepwalking Cop one? That was
Yeah.
great.
No. I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
we're watching that tonight. I'll show you that. I show it. It's so funny, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, throw that on, dude.
And the
The dad, OnlyFans dad.
OnlyFans dad.
Or
Or
the
the Trump dating.
Oh, I saw the OnlyFans dad. I've seen that.
Oh, okay.
Does he come up with them?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I think him and that other guy.
He's coming up with them, man.
He's got a real job.
He's a fucking genius, man.
Probably the best thing that ever happened to him was getting fired from SNL.
Oh yeah, I think he would be doing shitty sketches.
Yeah, bro.
It always goes back to the point that we made on the show. If you want to hurt fucking Shane Gillis, say nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You gave him an amplifier. Dummies, everyone wants to. What's
Paul,
the
what
deal?
was that?
Though?
Who's this guy? Who's this guy that got fired?
Yeah, what's his deal? He must be fucking crazy. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
Love it. They still don't get him.
Is it OnlyFans dad? Is that the one?
No, Sleepwalking Cop.
Oh, Sleepwalking.
Saturday Night Live. What a bunch of fucking pussies. Wow, a bunch of cucks.
Huge cuckolds, bro.
Yeah, fuck.
They could have had him.
I can't believe the
Those skits could have been on Saturday Night Live.
they wouldn't have the balls to show half of it.
Yeah.
Still got the stones, baby. Metrogorge? This lighter, you killed the fat on the lighter.
Yeah, my sister-in-law brought it back for me because she knows I get a kick at. Oh, that doesn't work, dude. There's a whole bunch of lighters.
Oh, okay.
Oh, if there's not, is there not?
What? I'm sure there is, dude. I'm sorry.
All kinds of religious shit. But, I like religious merchandise,
Right.
like merch
Right.
with Jesus on it. It's funny.
Did I ever give you my joke that's on Jesus? I should give you one. What? A postcard.
With Jesus on it?
Of Jesus is my joke's on. It's like,
Oh, yeah?
I don't understand. People don't sin. Like Christians don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't do drugs. You know, Jesus Christ died for your sins. If you don't sin, then you die for nothing.
Yeah.
Have it on a card.
With
Never,
Jesus.
yeah, you never seen it.
Give it all. Watch this.
Okay, here we go. Looking drunk. Friends.
Just hanging out.
You just missed the beginning where he went to bed because he had to work the next day.
Well, Shane Gillis is the cop. Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw
but
that.
you seen this?
No, I've seen the guy.
Okay, yeah.
I saw him.
He went to bed because he's got to go to work.
And she said, lock the door. He does look like kind of retarded.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a retard.
My cousin Adam looks like that too. We always thought he looked like he had Down syndrome, but he didn't. He just looked like That was a prick move, honestly. Did you see what those guys did at Skankfest? That it was
Fighting and shit?
well, the whole thing, the whole event that they put on. It was yeah, there was Jay Gomez. It was like
Who's Lou Gomez? He's dating a smoke show.
oh, she's so hot. Oh.
Who's Lou Gomez too?
Wait,
Louis Gomez, there's Jay Gomez. Is like
What?
he's like friends with Big
Jay
Jay
Ogerson.
Ogerson and Dan Soder and them. And then, but he's like the least funny of all those guys.
He's
Wouldn't you
least
say?
funny. But he's still funny. He's the least funny.
He's the least funny. He's more like he's like the Joe of the group. The Joe Patello of the group.
Joe Rogan, you mean?
No, I mean,
Like an average Joe.
no, Joe Patello.
Joe Patello.
He's the Joe Patello of that group of friends. Like Louis J. Gomez is the Joe Patello.
I see what you're saying.
And Joe's my friend. I'm not trashing about his back. I would trash him to his face.
Of course.
If he was here. He is my friend,
Well, Joe's an idiot.
but he's an idiot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you see this? He's dreaming about sucking his partner's cock. He's calling him by his name. He's pretending he's sucking his cock. They're like, he's dreaming. What's he talking about? No.
That's the keys guy. His cock had already come out. That's the key, eh? In every sketch, you gotta like think it's done and then do another.
Yeah.
Like Zach Galifianakis, every time he ends a sketch of any sort, like he'll have a pratfall, and then after it's done, he gets up and falls again, or a bucket will fall on him after, like the goo falls on you, and then the bucket falls on you. You know, just you think it's done.
He's just pissing on his buddy, look.
I don't even think he's asleep at this point in time.
Yeah, he probably awake.
You know how if you ever piss yourself when you're too drunk, then you wake up. A lot of times you wake up when you're pissing, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I've had that happen. Yeah, I've woken up in the kitchen pissing in the garbage can.
I did it one time when I went to my cousin's stag in Nashville, and I woke up in the kitchen pissing on the floor, and my other cousin's husband's yelling at me, and I'm like, I didn't fucking piss on the floor. Because I watched you do it. I'm like, I'm right away denying it. Like I'm just waking up. I know damn well I pissed on the floor, but I'm denying it. So he leaves all mad at me. I clean it up and all that stuff.
Was it his house?
No, it was this rental
Rented?
thing.
Okay, yeah.
And then I go back to the couch, go to sleep again, wake up like again. I'm pissing in the kitchen again.
No!
I did it like twice, and then I cleaned it up again. That time I went out and told him I did it again.
No!
Like,
You told him?
Yeah, I said that's too funny. If I'm that stupid,
You've seen this?
yeah, this is great.
I haven't seen this one.
Take him. Think about Shane Gillis too. He can be any age.
Yeah.
He's probably
I
like
can play a 23-year-old. I can play a 50-year-old.
yeah, he's probably like 35 for reals, right?
I think he had 33, something like that.
But he looks like
2,500. What's that? Like 2,500. Yeah.
kind of like
time, pick her up too.
Well, that's the Dutch all meat tray. Legendary. This is my father-in-law's Hungarian smoked
It's the
sausage.
best. I've eaten this like crazy.
Yeah, that's dynamite, man. Like that stuff. We make that stuff with them, and like that's sort of stuff. Like my wife's family's really cool. Like the same sort of thing. Like they kept up all the Hungarian traditions of making casserole sausage and we do noodles for soup and stuff. It looks like yeast. Yeah, it looks like little sauce.
Does she always bring it out for them too?
Yeah,
Really sweet her. That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. That is really nice. She does nice things. And also, Manolis, when we first met, this was early on when I started coming to Hamilton, and I met you at Haley House, and it was after one of my sets, and you said to me, like, you go, is it true what you said that you're married and stuff? And I said, yeah. And you said, is your wife cool with you doing comedy? And I said, yeah, she's been pretty supportive. And you said, she won't always be. That was the advice. And I took that real serious because I'm like, you've been around, you've seen people in and out, you've seen marriages fail because of comedy and all stuff.
Right.
And now after doing it this much longer, after we had that talk, you know, and like I totally see, like, I'm glad I went into it with my eyes wide open, like from having that conversation with you because it's so hard, like, to keep a marriage going with comedy because like nothing about it makes fucking sense, and if she doesn't get how important it is to you, then you're sunk, you know. Like,
Yeah, because if he doesn't realize how important it is to you, like you say, then she's going to start resenting you, hating you, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Where's this going? What's the point? It's like, and then it's like,
I'm lucky that my wife's a workaholic because she's like, I have to kind of forgive her because she wants to work all the time. So like I'm like, okay, but then you have to understand I want to do what I want to do too. You know?
It's a little bit trade-off. Trade-off.
Yeah, it's true. And she does. Like that's the thing. She does. It's a thing that she doesn't even. She never even thinks for a second that she would have any say in what I do with my life. So because I have no say in what she does with her life. You know? She wouldn't even. Like, she would laugh if I ever told her what I thought. Like she should do something like that. Like she's not that kind of girl. I wouldn't have married her.
And she probably doesn't do it so that like you're nice to her. She only does it because it's to you nice to do it.
She wants to see me happy, yeah. And that's all. It's as simple as it is. And she doesn't need anything from me. So she doesn't care.
when do you post this, anyways? You post it?
That's not
I'm gonna post it tonight, actually, because my bank is empty. Yeah, that is me.
Are you gonna like put it on Facebook?
Yeah, it was Facebook Live already,
Oh, okay.
and then but it's also on YouTube, and it's and then the audio comes out tonight.
Yeah, I didn't know it was live. People were messaging me. They were like,
Oh, really?
You can like tag us.
Yes, I will. Yeah, two different people right early on, and nothing.
that's awesome, dude. I was reading those.
It was this article was one of my favorite articles.
Yeah?
Like it really. I just read this the other day. I was just sitting around smoking a joint and I read it, and then I texted the guy and saying like, "Hey, you remember me? You wrote an article about me. That's a good article." Because at first I just put it up because I was in the paper, but I didn't think I read it. And I read it. I'm like, you actually, that is what I think. I think it's hilarious how black guys and dumb pick white guys are essentially the same guy, and they get mad. Like, how does a white? Yeah, like how can they be enemies? They're exactly in the same boat.
Yeah, black people are just.
Love guns.
There's like four white guys, you know. Like I don't understand.
They both love guns.
That's funny.
Like that's why I think I get along with black people so easily, is because I grew up on a farm poor, you know. And I don't see. Actually, black guys are treated a lot better on our farms than I was.
Dude, that Hungarian sausage is next fucking level, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
it.
We were
Wait.
talking about that the other day.
You gotta be careful. You know, some of those can kill you, right?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it right. Like I do the research. I got other guys that do it before me at the point of mouth, and then I only do one mushroom variety that's new per time I go out, and then when first time you eat a new variety, you eat a little bit, and then
You're cooking it. You're not tripping. These are just natural.
no, not tripping mushrooms, just for you.
Yeah.
It's free food. Right out there, tons of it.
Not really because mushrooms are good for that too, man.
And you can sell in restaurants too.
Do you have any magic?
My aunt's, who lives just around the corner, she's been selling, she was selling machete mushrooms.
She forages them around here?
Yeah.
Wild.
Do you have any magic mushrooms? I have some at home if you ever need some.
Okay.
This would be a fun place to eat mushrooms.
I got acid. The pinch of acid is still the most stupid.
Really?
I confiscated from my kid a long time ago, and I never did it. It's in my safe.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
How old's your kid?
Now she's almost 20.
Is this a girl or boy?
Girl, I have 2 girls.
How old's the girl when she found it? Or she found that she had acid?
She's probably steps to 18.
Manolis' nephew gave us some acid.
Really? How old's your nephew?
I'm 21.
That's like the same age, right? Yeah.
We're gonna try
That's the
that
thing is, I said, what? You
We're gonna try that acid.
for real?
Here's one his nephew gave us.
Yeah. This is just recently, and you have it too. When are you gonna do it? Seriously?
What, you want to do this, huh?
Yeah, I want to do acid with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I've never done acid, and
Yeah.
my neighbors are all saying like, because at Christmas we had a neighbor Christmas party, and they're like, I told them I had acid, and they're like, we're in. Then I'm like, really, you guys are gonna do acid? I'm like, since we're kids, I want to do it.
How funny is it, like, confiscating acid from your kid and then doing it with your friends? Like, that's so funny,
the thing
eh?
is, I told my daughter I'm not giving this back to you because she has kind of issues with addiction.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm probably not gonna give it back to you. And then she goes, hey, do you want to take that acid? Like all trips I do. She's saying, my daughter's saying it.
What's that mean?
Like, she'll just like be the
Oh.
sober
Make sure
one
you're
when
okay.
I'm doing acid, and in case I'm having a bad trip, she'll kind of like take care of me and set me down or whatever. And I'm like, that's super nice of you, but I don't think that's good parenting. Parents can't agree to it, but I don't want to.
My nephew said I should just take a hit and just go with it. I've done acid for a long time.
That's what my daughter said too about this stuff. She goes, this particular stuff is really easygoing, nice stuff. Like, she goes, just take one, we're gonna be fine. And she goes, if that's not enough, then do it. But the next time, do more. But tried that. That's how I got him on the last time because we didn't remember it. I'm like, you won't come 10 minutes away from the game just to do an hour. Come on. Maybe too big, and then he's like, "I'll do it." Like, but I had to bust his balls, man. I love Jay, but I've known him for a long time. Doug's like this, man.
Doug's the best, so I like Doug.
Yeah, Jason's he's too in his own head now.
Yeah, he gets like that. I mean, I know, like when we were starting out, like when like we work on jokes together and all that stuff. Like it was like you could introduce me and then you could work with him. I haven't been able to do that for years. It seems I barely get a loaf from him at a show. You know, it's just sad that he was.
That's crazy. He turned it into like competition.
Contest, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's not a contest.
You know what though, Pete? For some people it is. For some people it's not. For me it's not.
It's a competition now.
For him it's a competition for sure.
Well, in a way, it's nice to have measuring sticks because you can say, well, like I do look at friends like Doug and Jason and all the guys I started with. That those guys are. I see if they do something, I'm like, oh, should I be doing that? You know, that sort of thing. And you don't want to fall behind. You know, you don't want to look like you're not working as hard or anything. But at the same token, like if they do good, something good happens for them. I feel nothing but happy for them.
But do you think they feel the same way?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't really care.
So that's the other thing. Do you care? That's way better.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make a difference in my life. You know, well, this is it.
Yeah, I love this.
It's so funny because everyone does have one of those uncles that just a fucking piece of
Let's listen to this, guys.
See, you could never do this with anything right now. Because without the fucks. The guy in the back is the most believable guy. Like, the other black guy.
Field trip to Pizzagate, please.
Who's that guy? Do you know who that guy is? The guy with the mustache?
No. My cousin told me.
chance anything, Jason Rouse would be the one that gets canceled, right?
If he was famous, he would.
Yeah, but nobody. He's got a niche.
But he's not famous. He's not
He's
famous.
not famous. They don't care.
They don't care. You have to be. You have to have something to
cancel.
Yeah.
Yeah, to take away from you.
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Which is almost more incentive not to want to be a famous comic.
Well,
it takes away all your shit.
Well, that's the irony of it, is that if you haven't done anything like that, like that's the way to sometimes it helps you get there.
And then as soon as you get there, they want to take you down. Oh no, go ahead, man. Thanks a lot for coming down.
Are you kidding, bud?
That's a long hike to ask people to come all this way.
It was a hike, but you know what? It was worth every fucking mile.
So I always appreciate it when guys make.
We listened to some fucking new tunes on the way up here. We had a good drive. Oh, we got one accident.
Oh yes.
It's a little one. Not a big deal. We don't know about it.
That's trash.
Oh, this is a finger in the fly thing as a joke. Is like something that I thought was funny when I was a kid. I still think it's funny.
The finger in the what?
The finger in the fly.
Oh, dude. I did that at Levity the other night. Lindsay had never seen it. Past life.
Oh, really?
And I was doing this thing with her before. I forget what I was doing, but I was like, it'd be funny if, like, a streaker, instead of, like, he had a coat, and, you know, like a coat, but instead of, like, opening it up like this, he opened it up like this way. Like, he's like, yeah, like, streak that way. So I did, like, the old,
Oh, shit, dude.
what?
I might still have all my shit running.
Live?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. How much? Oh, it's okay.
Did they hear us?
Oh, stop.